All right. There we are. Let me just let.
You put it on Twitter?
I'm about to put on Twitter right now. Do-do-do. Alrighty. So, we are going to start off. I'd like to start off with my notes pulled up. That'd be a good idea. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys are still in the basement. You are still in the large secret room under Cyrus's bookshelf, having just discovered the Glory Society's plans to assassinate the leading members of the cities in this reach. Magpie starts to strap all the relevant papers and photos you found down here with some twine and begins to tuck them into their bag. Bartleby is reading over some leftover notes and kind of shaking their head in disbelief. Magpie kind of mumbles, well, I guess we got what we were looking for when we came in here. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think they were aiming for something on such a massive scale. This is a little concerning.
I think a little bit concerning is downplaying it a bit.
Yeah,
This is a lot.
I, full and complete control of all the cities and annihilating one of them because you can't conquer it is not great.
Yeah, speaking of, we should probably do something about that whole clock tower shit.
We probably should, but as you say that, Micah, you guys can start hearing some very small but echoed footsteps begin to come down the stairs.
Oh, shit.
A very small gnome man in a pair of large glasses has stepped down the stairs and stopped straight in the large doorway. Kind of gawks at you all, very wide-eyed. And
I can tackle some.
Oh my god! You hear a man go, ah! You attack
Micah claps his hand over his mouth and he's like,
his very large glasses are askew on his face. And he's staring at you wide-eyed, Micah. He goes,
if I take my hand off your mouth, you need to promise not to scream, and if you do scream, I'll do something bad. You won't like it.
Micah, this teeny tiny itty bitty man raises his teeny tiny itty bitty hands in the air in a gesture of, I promise. And he's...
Micah takes his hand off his mouth.
I won't say anything. I noticed that something was amiss, and I saw the bookshelf was open, and I'm not here. He's like cowering. He's kind of got his little hands up. He's balding.
Oh.
He's like, my name is Stavor. I started to work for Cyrus years ago. He kind of like glances nervously around the room, and he's like, this looks bad. Because it is bad, but you know.
Oh, really? I didn't think it looked too bad. You know?
Yeah, that seemed perfectly fine to me.
Yeah.
I feel like you're all
Just par for the course.
I feel like you're being sarcastic with me.
I absolutely am being sarcastic.
Percy shrugs.
What in the world gave it away?
What'd you say, Pike?
I'm glad you're being sarcastic. I was about to get really upset there.
Oh. Poor Pike. Staver kind of looks back and forth between all of you, and he goes, well, I suppose there's no trying to cover up whatever this is, and I'm going to be a bit honest with you. I'm kind of relieved that he's been found out this way.
Did you know?
I started to work for Cyrus years ago, and at one point I thought he was a pompous fool, too greedy to see past the damage he'd do, and it was small things at first. You know, he was meddling in other nobles' affairs, political business that was really not harmful to anyone else but, you know, the nobles involved. But then he set his eyes on Never. I tried to talk some sense into him. It was blasphemous. It was murder. But he told me if I uttered a word to anyone, stepped out of line once, he'd have my wife's head on a pike and it would be my fault. So I stepped back and I began passing what little details I could get of his plan to Perrin.
Micah looks at Bartley and Magpie and are like, do you all know this Perrin?
Magpie kind of waves the papers that you guys have been fishing through, and he goes, Perrin was a guy that Cyrus assassinated a while ago. I think it was because he was getting a little bit too close in his business. I think Delphina knew him.
Okay. Well, that's taken care of. Well, you know, I would love to stick it around and chat. But we are a bit on a time crunch schedule, I'd assume, because of the whole, you know, ravenous beast kind of situated in a potential
plot.
Yeah, and you know, it would be great for us to get going on that. So if you are as altruistic as you seem, then perhaps we could, you know, cut this a little bit short, and we can save some pleasantries for later, yada yada yada, and we can talk about what you meant by stepping into other nobles' business, and we can do that all later as soon as we get this sorted.
Well, I mean, I saw Cyrus taking off towards the clock tower. If you want to get a hold on that, and he jams. His
what a
thumbs up the
coincidence!
stairs.
Oh, wonderful.
Is our gear anywhere close by?
I think Magpie probably stashed it outside.
Alright, I need to grab that before we go anywhere.
Yeah.
Magpie.
Get that. And
Magpie
clear
puts, Magpie puts their hands on their hips. They're like, I put it in a bush. No one will ever know to look there.
How
No one
many
ever checks the
bushes
bush.
are there on the estate?
Magpie's face goes blank. Oh shit. He runs
right,
up the stairs.
I see. We should probably go help.
Yeah.
You guys kind of start making your way back downstairs towards the main ballroom type area, back down from Cyrus's bedchambers, and you see how startlingly empty the mansion has become. It's been completely cleared of the bustling party that was once held inside. There's not a guard nor guest in sight. Delphina insisted on breaking off from the party to go recover Never with Ethan, so you guys are out on your own, kind of rushing into the cold night. Magpie helps you guys gather up all of your stuff after finally finding it in a bush he totally meant to hide it in. And the moon is high and bright in the dark sky. There's a light wind and a cold drizzle that kind of gently soaks you as you run down the street. Your boots kind of clacking on all the broken cobblestone. The silhouette of the clock tower looms in the distance, and kind of the sickly orange glow from the stained glass kind of tempts you in a way that makes you feel sick and uneasy. Strangely, the tower doors stand unguarded.
You know, this may just be me being a bit too suspicious or cautious or whatever, but, you know, I don't quite like the fact that the mansion was completely empty when we got back down.
I mean,
It's
what
pretty
time?
creepy.
Yeah. What time is it currently?
It's about 1 a.m.
1 a.m. Mm, it's-
Do we still have some of the others with us, like Bartleby and Bagpie?
Yes, you do.
Do you know what happened with the others? Why did they leave?
Bartleby and Magpie are with you, but Magpie kind of taps his chin a little bit, and he goes, "Well, I assume if that little gnome guy found us, I would think that maybe the guards told someone that someone was poking around in Cyrus's business, and he probably didn't like that very much. Oh, also there was the guy that you guys tied to the bed. That happened."
Wait, what? Wait, what guy? Who do we tie? Oh, right. I
Delphi.
forgot. Yeah, the guard.
Tied a guy to the bed.
It's like, oh yeah, him. Huh, yeah.
So, you know. Hang on. So, you guys kind of make your way inside. You kind of push open the large doors. And there's a large black staircase leading up the massive tower with 2 large doors on either side of said staircase. One of the doors is barred with a large lock, and the other is just kind of a wooden door slightly ajar.
Wait, what are the doors again?
There's the large staircase that's in the middle on the left. There's like a large door that's barred with a big lock, and on the other one, there's an unlocked wooden door that's slightly ajar.
Percy won't, like, open the door, but he'll try to see, like, what he can see from the door that's ajar. Like, just kind of peek through a little.
Perception.
Perception. Oh my god, why did I get it? It's a nat 20. That's...
Oh, damn. Percy, you
nat 20 plus what's my perception? That's like a 23.
Gotcha. You kind of peek into this room, and, hang on one second. You kind of peek into this room, and this half of the bottom floor kind of looks like it's mainly used for entertaining nobles. You can kind of peek down the corridor, and you can kind of see from the angle you're at that in each of the rooms there's just, like, lots of super luxurious furnishings, fancy carpeting, bookshelves full of books that are mainly used for decor. This part of the tower looks obnoxiously and uncomfortably perfect, and there's nothing particularly interesting in these rooms, except you can see what looks like a large kitchen area all the way in the back that looks like it has, like, barrels of ale and wine kind of stashed on the walls from what you can see.
It kind of looks back, and it's just some sort of entertainment area. There's wine and drink. Sort of kitchen.
I guess we could try going through that way then.
Good.
You guys go down there, and like I kind of mentioned, there's nothing that's particularly interesting about these rooms. It's a lot of just boring, uptight, noble shit for the most part. But in that back room there's giant, like, very large, like, party-sized kegs of, like, ale and wine and different kinds of spirits. They kind of line the walls. There's, like, bottles everywhere. This is, like, where they go to, like, pour shit out and have a good fucking time, you know?
Well, I suppose it... Never mind, I guess we're not really getting much of anything down here. Maybe we should try the
Unless
main
we want
doors.
a drink.
I would rather not. Maybe we should try the main doors.
To yourself.
Foxglove kind of pokes his head out of Percy's bag and goes, he looks at you, Micah, and he goes, "Maybe you should stand away from all of that, Fireboy." And he flicks at you with his tiny little gross hand.
I don't, like, just set shit on fire unintentionally.
I watched you burn your hand on the stove.
And yet I set that fire intentionally.
How big are these kegs? Like, in regards to a person,
Oh,
are we, like, carrying it around?
like how big, or like how, like, tall
Like,
are they?
is it feasible to, like, carry one of these around?
For Wander, definitely. For others, maybe.
Could we use this?
Oh yeah, you can use it.
You could.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, let me put it this way. Like, would they have to put their weapons down to carry it?
I mean, no, probably not.
Sweet, alright, they'll take one then.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
I feel, Wander, you could probably easily lift one of these with one hand. How about that? The rest of you might have a little bit of a harder time with it.
Micah's not gonna. He's just gonna stand back and watch everyone go about trying to wrangle these.
Maybe it's a bad idea. Like, if we run into things and there's a lot of them, I can maybe toss it and you can maybe shoot it with something. I don't know.
Or later we can have celebratory drinks after we figure this thing out.
We can just come back for that. I don't need to carry it around if we're just having it for drinks.
Yeah, I mean,
I have
We
a
could
shield
use-
I need to use, Percy. I'm not
Yeah.
carrying this around just for drinks.
Shrugs.
Well, then,
So-
are you guys gonna head back to the other area then?
Probably.
Mhm.
Alright, so there's only the staircase and the door to the left, which is barred with a massive fucking lock.
Micah kind of gestures at it and looks to Percy and is like, "Well, it's your wheelhouse."
Hmm. I guess I could try and get it open. That is a 13.
Yeah, it takes you a hot second, but you kind of manage to wrangle this the lock on this door, and it kind of falls to the floor with a heavy clunk. These doors then slowly kind of creak open and expose a dark corridor. There's a door to the left, a door to the right, and a larger room down the hall. All three of these appear to be locked also.
Oh boy. Is it like completely dark, like no light?
No, it's just like dimly lit, like the little candelabras or whatever on the wall probably aren't doing the best at lighting the hallway, but you can still see.
Alright, so all the doors here are locked.
Yep.
All right. Well, it seems like we have come to a crossroads very quickly. Where are we going?
I don't know. I could just. I could try cracking these open. I can't promise anything. Or we could go upstairs and further into the clock tower.
Well, see, the thing is that it was mentioned that Cyrus was keeping all his business under the clock tower. So I feel like going upstairs might be a bit detrimental.
True. I could try opening one of these doors. I can't. Last lock was a little tough, so I can't promise anything.
All right. Well, if you need any help, just let me know and I'll burn it for you.
Alright. Sounds good. You said there's like. I guess there's just pick a random door.
There's a door to the left, the right, and then there's one all the way at the end of the corridor.
Let's go for the right one. That is a 12.
Yeah, you kind of mangle this lock up a
You're
little
awful.
bit. Huh?
I just heard like a BBD sound. It sounds like we're in an
Oh,
office.
that was my phone, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead, sorry.
No, it's okay. So, you kind of mangle this lock off the door. Not particularly difficult. But when you break in here, there are 3 people in a single cell. There's a human, an orc, and a dwarf. And they all kind of recoil when they see you come in, and they kind of push themselves to the back of the wall a little bit, and they go, "Please, I'm begging you, no more."
Whoa.
Oh shit. Hey, we're not gonna hurt you. We're just kind of trying to pursue Cyrus and kick the shit out of him. Did you happen to see where he was going?
We haven't seen anyone in days.
Oh. Cool, we can let you out.
We would like that very much, please.
Hell yeah.
I'm guessing the doors are locked, so like.
Yep, there's another lock. Jail cell.
Percy's goes at it.
You know, Percy, it is very nice of you to handle all these locks for us. Thank you so very much.
I do what I do. That is a 18.
Yeah, you get that bitch open. You with artfully, the door swings open, and these people kind of nervously kind of shuffle out.
Jail locks are always easier to pick than other locks tend. Surprisingly.
It's strange you know that, says the dwarf.
He's shrugs. So door's out. The way should be clear to get out.
They all kind of nervously kind of look at you guys, and Bartleby kind of starts gesturing to them and seems to kind of lead them out a little bit. There really isn't much else in this room. It's just a lot of jail cells that seem to have, at one point, held a lot of people.
Oh boy. You know what? I just realized we probably should have asked why they were being held captive, like why Cyrus held them captive.
I mean, they're walking out of the door right now. You can still ask.
Wait, hold on, wait 1 second.
The human kind of pauses and turns to look at you.
You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but do you know the reason why Cyrus was keeping you all captive?
Well, we've been here since Synthanos was taken by that darkness. We established a small camp outside the city just to keep close after our homes were destroyed. Cyrus and the society, they promised us refuge here in the clock tower. Said that they would give us food and shelter, but it was all a lie. They locked us in here and they took us one by one.
Took as in like took you people out of the cell, I'm guessing?
You know what, I don't want to say it in front of them, but you know what they were doing to the people they were keeping here.
Yeah, probably.
The human kind of looks at you guys nervously.
It's fine.
Nothing to worry about at all.
You're free, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to ask.
Not your problem, someone else's problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Bartleby nervously starts pushing these guys out down the hall towards the exit, and he gives you guys a weird kind of thumbs up, thumbs down motion.
What?
They give you kind of like a weird thumbs up, thumbs down kind of motion. That's Bartleby for
Bartleby.
work on it.
We're trying.
Alright, and so there's nothing else in this room?
No, it's just lots and lots of cages and cells.
Yeah. Alright, he will go to the left room now. There's probably more people in there. That or bones. That is...
What? Bones can be people too.
19. Yeah, but bones are... I mean... True,
I think he meant that they're not living people. Either we're going to find living people or non-living people.
But what about our friend?
What?
The barkeeper.
Yeah,
with the flowers.
Yeah, he's
bones
dead.
and people.
I mean, there's something to be said about whether if undeath constitutes as living, or if it's a different
Micah. I'm just gonna stop you right there before you put your foot in your mouth again.
Micah, Magpie is staring at you.
Micah shuts his mouth.
Someone inside that might not have... Someone who they died, they moved on, and didn't come back. If
And
that's
that-
not offensive to say, Magpie.
Ethan,
In that case, we should bring their bones home.
We can do
I mean,
that.
it might be hard to know where their bones belong to, but we can certainly try.
Magpie is looking between all of you and going, you know what? Aiden kind of picked a lot of really socially awkward weirdos, didn't he? And he stands to the side and lets you guys pick the lock.
I think I'm okay socially. I rolled a 19.
I'm wonderful socially.
I am very good socially, actually. Caspian on my sensor.
You guys.
Just the silence that
I
followed
wonder kind of
that.
stands there like, am I the only a self-aware person here?
You guys. Oh my god. You guys swing open. Stop. You guys swing open the doors to this room. And as Percy guessed, there are several more cells filled with people that appear to have been afflicted by corruption.
Oh shit.
Large black horns and like growths kind of sprout off of their body, and bright white eyes blink from places where they should not be growing.
Oh dear.
They're still slightly conscious and not fully gone, but when you look into their eyes, there's a distant emptiness to them. Several of these people are Asimar, and none of them are speaking to you.
Oh dear.
I'll be honest, I don't know how to handle this.
Micah is going...
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry. Could we not try to get them to the infirmary? Where they were treating the...
We could, but I don't know what... He looks over to, like, Magpie and Bartleby, like,
We could probably get some people in here. He kind of nudges Bartleby's shoulder, and Bartleby kind of signs to him that he's going to send some birds to grab some people from the dead foxes to bring them
Yeah,
in here.
of course. Can I just check something really quickly?
Mm-hmm.
Micah kind of, like, kneels down in front of one of people, and he kind of, like, tries to get their attention a little bit and see if they're, like, consciously there.
Their eyes kind of, like, flicker to you. They can sort of kind of tell you're there. They're not incredibly responsive, though.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like more people is definitely the way to go.
yeah.
Well, we should probably keep going.
Yeah.
For the most part, this room is also still, like, it's mainly lots of cages that, again, at one point, held lots of people. Most of the cages are occupied, but, like, in small, like, pods of, like, 3 or 4. But it seemed like at one point these did hold a lot more bodies to them.
Mm.
This sucks.
This
Right?
sucks. Yeah.
Huh. I guess when Percy will, like, make to, like, go for the next room, he'll, like, kind of, like, before leaving, like, look at them again for a moment before just going forward, and then go to the end of the hall and try to unlock that one.
Percy, when you kind of crouch to start picking at this lock, you can hear a lot of strange noises coming from behind the door. You can't exactly put your finger on.
Percy will, like, stop real quick and kind of press his ear to the door to see if he can, like, try to get maybe a better, like, idea of what he could be hearing. If he can.
Roll me perception.
Perception. Oh my god. 4.
By Talos. You kind of, it's just a lot of, like, mumbling and, like, strange, cluttered, distant noises. The door is pretty heavy and thick. It seems purposefully soundproof. Though something is in there making enough noise to kind of slip through the cracks.
kind of pokes at wherever like Foxglove it is like, hey, do you hear anything?
Foxglove kind of leans in and he kind of presses his gross little feathery mandible against the lock and he goes, sounds like someone's yelling in there.
There's a person. Alright. Looks at the others. Sounds like someone's on the other side, or at least someone. So,
you ready?
You be ready, I suppose.
Let me go first. Let me go first.
Sure, why not? Be my guest. He'll start working at the lock. That is a 18 plus 5.
Oh shit. You fucking pop that with the grace of an angel. The lock kind of practically falls apart in your hands.
He'll like try to like kind of catch it so it's like when it like if like falls it doesn't like make a lot of noise, and he like sets it down and he's like gets up. He's like, after you.
Wanda will try to like quietly open the door. They're not trying to attract attention, but
You want to roll me stealth on that one?
and I get
Let's
to
go.
roll with disadvantage. Yay! Yeah.
But tell us, they'll never know you're there.
Oh
Wander, you go to very
Absolute sneakiness.
Wander, you go to very gently push this door open, but instead your giant hoof crashes into it and sends the doors like smacking into the wall on either side.
Micah covers his eyes.
I was thinking like Wanda tries to sneak, but there's just this clip clop
Oh my
sound.
god. That and like chainmail jingling, which isn't great either, but
As the doors slam into the wall, and the doors open before you, you guys watch as a man dressed in a stained medical robe is like standing on top of a ladder, dangling a screaming man over a cage of 2 clawing, writhing fallen. The smashing of the door startles him, and he makes direct eye contact with you as he drops this man into the cage. And the fallen kind of descend upon him like wolves on an injured rabbit. He screams as they kind of sink their teeth in, and the cries of pain kind of turn into a guttural metallic screech as his body seems to kind of transform before your very eyes into one of these dark, horned creatures.
Percy had like
Not a fan
Well,
of
he's-
that.
Percy like stands like he's probably like standing beside the door and he like kind of leans forward peeking through and he's like, oh shit, that's all right.
Micah had uncovered his eyes in time to see that and covers them again.
Oh no!
Pike's mouth is just gaping, fish style.
Percy's on face.
Fish. Oh my god.
Wanda's face kind of crumples a bit. Like, oops, I think I did that.
Oh no.
Oh no!
No!
Micah pats Wander on the shoulder and says, it's not your fault.
This man turns to you guys and kind of cocks his head. He has like a pair of large goggles kind of over his eyes, and he goes, oh, it seems that Cyrus's little pest problem hasn't been taken care of. He kind of leaps down from his ladder and kind of cocks his head at you.
You seem relatively unfazed to see us.
I figured it was time that someone went around poking their nose where it didn't belong.
You sound like someone out of a really, really shitty 10-cent book.
I think that's just the delirium, but who knows?
You should work on your villain monologues.
I think you should suck me from the back.
Is that all you have to say in response? Is that your best comeback?
You really
Oh,
got
I'm
under his
so
skin,
scared.
Micah. You really got under his skin.
This guy is like standing with his hands on his hips and he goes, you're not a very pleasant person.
I don't particularly like being pleasant to someone who drops a seemingly innocent person into a cage of fallen and essentially like leaves him to his death, sort of.
You don't know that he was innocent. He could have been a puppy kicker for all you know. I could be doing
I like to believe in innocent till proven guilty. And also you're a dick and I don't really like you very much already.
Wonderful. I didn't realize that I was climbing for the approval of men who can't put a shirt on properly.
It certainly seems like you care when I insulted your villain monologue.
You leave my villain monologue alone!
Oh, so you do care? Did you try reading, I don't know, maybe something with a bit more class rather than children's novels?
You leave my children's novels alone.
Oh, do they have little
boring,
pictures in them?
You leave my little pictures alone!
Are they little pictures with bunnies and rabbits in them?
No! They're about very big, strong science men who are very good at science!
Oh, did you write them yourself? Is that why you're so protective of them?
We got a little author here, don't we?
Oh, he's trying so hard.
It's admirable.
Foxglove is like poking out of like the bag, like looking between you guys and going, you guys are kind of ruthless. God, the fucking I want to cry.
What do you do with Cyrus?
Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. A little bit of showing him what the deep intricacies of turning people into fallen does. Does it not fascinate you? A magic so dark, so ancient, so hungry. No divinity, no light, a force that can bring the gods to their knees. Does this not fill you with such splendor? And he kind of gestures to the cage full of, like, writhing monsters.
Did you flunk out of your high school theater program?
You're really into these low blows, sir. Do you have a complex you're trying to make up for?
No, I just find you very hilarious.
I'm glad
you seem to be
so
compensating for something, so...
I think it's just called murder.
What do you know about the Fallen? What have you... Hit me. What have you made any groundbreaking discoveries?
I have indeed. It's interesting. And he kind of like wanders around the room and he kind of gestures to like what looks essentially like a laboratory that's been thoroughly used for the past several weeks. There's like creatures that have had like their whole bodies essentially flayed so he can look through like the muscle and organ systems. And he's like, it's something that I've never seen before. Have you ever seen something that completely saps the divinity out of a god? Out of any kinds of creatures that have any sort of ability to grant life in this world. It takes it. And he kind of like, he's like so overwhelmed with like the joyous thought of like being a fucking creep.
You're fucking weird, my guy.
I don't want to hear it from you. You're ruining my monologue!
Yeah, your monologue sucked.
Foxglove is like staring up at you, Micah. He goes, man. You have something to prove tonight, don't you?
I have, I'm a bit touchy about the whole, just seeing someone being thrown into a pit of monsters. Anyway, I'm going
Foxglove's like, we're gonna unpack that later.
I'm gonna make this a bit, we're still sort of short on time, so I have a bit of a proposition for you.
I enjoy propositions.
Don't look at me like that.
I'm looking at you like that. Are you trying to seduce me, sir? It's not working.
I would rather not fuck you.
Ooh, you want me so bad?
Your dick is small and everything about you is weird. Now, here is my proposition. Either you tell us, where Cyrus is, and go, oh yes, sir, I promise that I will go silently into custody, and we can all go on our merry way, and we can just knock you out in some light roughing up, or you can do another crazy villain monologue thing and basically say, no, I protect Cyrus no matter what, and then burn your face.
Micah, Cressus he puts his wrists together and he very gently folds them out towards you and he goes, oh, how about I make this easy on you then? Come here.
Wait. Does he look like he's gonna fight us?
I don't know. Does he?
Can I roll insight?
Sure, go ahead.
Can one roll just for fun? It never goes anywhere, but...
Sure, go ahead.
And Percy also.
Sure, go ahead.
Let me get my...
Insight.
Wow!
Nat 20, 23. I'm really in combat, I'm gonna get all nat ones. 23 for Percy.
Cressus is fucking deranged, and I would not trust him. He's kind of got his head cocked towards you, and he has his arms out very expectantly. This man is not to be trusted. Also, because Micah's been making fun of his monologue for several minutes.
Wanda kind of tries to, under their breath, whisper at the rest, are we fighting him? Are we gonna fight him?
I'm gonna try to subdue him, but if you fight us, then, well, no harm done.
Yeah.
And Micah's gonna very carefully go over and try and tie him up.
Micah, make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Mm-hmm.
I had a cool trick with the barrel I wanted to try.
Oh boy. Micah, Cressus takes out a dagger that's been at the hilt of his belt, and just before you go to grab him, he snatches it, and he makes a valiant attempt at slashing you, and he just barely, he doesn't cut you, but, well, he doesn't slash you, but he draws a very small, painless cut across your cheek with it.
Cast Produce Flame and slams his hand containing the flame onto the side of Cressus's face.
Oh my god.
And holds it there.
Can you... What would I even have you roll for that? You know what? I'll just give it to you. Cressus wails out in pain and he kind of falls onto the floor clutching his face.
I did warn you about that.
His hood is melting into the side of his face. This man is screaming, writhing on the ground. Probably his clothes catching on fire at this point.
Wanda will put that barrel down and come and try and roll him around a bit and restrain him.
Wanda, you roll this man around on the floor.
That's what you're supposed to do when people are on fire, right?
Magpie watches you rolling this guy around like he's a little log. You somehow, by miracle, extinguish the flames upon him, and he's sitting there whimpering as his body is smoldering.
I mean, Wanda will keep him restrained just in case he tries anything else funny.
I love the fact that we did this well. Pike has the ability to create...
I was gonna say! There's a party member that can manifest water!
You know what the funniest thing is? Wanda also has that spell. I didn't remember.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Wait, stop, drop, and roll, right? Just...
Oh man, no brain cells. None.
Vitalos, they're a genius.
They belatedly remember they have it, but then do I want to waste a spell slot on this? Nah.
as you guys are kind of holding Cressus in here, you look around, and there are several large cages just absolutely bursting with fallen. Some of them look like they were once people. Others look like they were animals. They kind of snarl and growl and swipe at you through the bars of their cage. Some of them kind of bite at the bars and attempt to break them. There's shelves lined with bones, horns, jars of teeth and claws, and desks and tables that look like they're covered in notes. Slabs of meat sit on several metal tables, and there's a corpse of a fallen that's been medically flayed and stretched open so you can see all the organs and bones inside of its body.
Micah resists the urge to be sick and goes to look at the notes that are on the desk.
So most of these are kind of just basic notes on pretty basic information you guys have already learned, either through Athan or through snooping through Cyrus's study in the beginning. Just a lot of limited knowledge about how the Fallen operate. There's a massive map of what seems to be a Sakanier with plans scribbled on the sides as ways to sneak Fallen into the city in order to release them. There's a leather-bound journal that sits on the desk.
Micah goes for the journal, but also hands the notes off to Magpie and says these would probably be important for Athan.
Magpie kind of tucks them away. But as you open this journal, and it reads as follows. Day 1. I've discovered that just the teeth of these beasts serves a divine purpose. Merely a slice or prick of a tooth, or perhaps a weapon made from a tooth, could afflict a beast or person with enough corruption to take the body, but not the mind, or vice versa. We know not of where this darkness comes from, but I will harvest its use to the fullest. Day 5. I've done it. I've took a young elven man and sliced his chest with the tooth of a fallen. The corruption only took him partially. He speaks softly of voices and whispers in the back of his mind, but knows not of who speaks to him. He looks up at the wall most days, and speaks nothing but nonsense. Day 15. The subject has stopped speaking completely and refused all food. He rocks back and forth and refuses to look at me. It seems the mind cannot sustain long when under the darkness's influence. I threw him to the other beasts, and he may play among them now. Day 17. Cyrus brought me something truly wonderful today. A saint, straight from Alabay. Cyrus called him Tythos, and said he's quite old. He fought hard, but a single nick of a tooth was all it took to afflict him. The devastation upon his face when it happened is a look I may never forget. His connection with his god was severed instantly, and he wept for hours and called her name. Day 20. Whatever darkness this is, it sapped every ounce of divinity from his body. He is powerless, and speaks to whatever voices seem to be whispering to him, but it's all nonsense. He tells me they sing him beautiful songs about terrible things. He weeps for his goddess and begs her in the dark to speak to him once again. And the last page that he seemed to written is Day 25. Driven to madness by the absence of his god, Tythos destroyed himself before me. He begged her to forgive him before he broke his own neck. I had him incinerated. Perhaps I've gone too far.
Micah claps the journal together and also gives it to Magpie and says, right, I am going to I think I'm gonna go burn that guy again.
Perhaps,
Does
Conchita?
Micah share what was in the journal?
Yes.
Okay.
Perhaps? You think?
Is he still awake, the guy?
Yeah, he's pretty conscious.
You said his hood melted into his face.
Yeah, he's in a lot of pain, but he's conscious.
Micah, does he have any hair?
Yeah, he's probably got. He's not balding. He's probably got a good healthy tuft of hair on the top of his head.
Micah takes the back of his hair, and picks his face up off the ground and slams it back down.
Ooh. His head kind of hits the floor with a loud, like, crack, and he kind of gives a little squeal out. But he kind of stares at you, Micah, through, like, the melted plastic and cracked glass of his goggles, and he goes, "Found something you didn't like, it seems."
Not particularly. How'd you get a saint from Malivite to come out all the way out here?
Cyrus said that he doesn't. Cyrus said that he sometimes traveled, not one of the kinds that likes to stay in the confines of the city, I suppose. I suppose he, he was a little bit too trustworthy of us this time.
Right. No further plans for Alivay, then? Besides what you've already got concocting.
Wouldn't you like to know?
I can slam your face into the ground again if that's more preferable to you.
It would be preferable than having a conversation with your foolish self.
Still sad about the villain monologue.
Perhaps a bit.
Oh, would it make it better? Would you boo boo if I said I was sorry?
Micah. Micah, this guy just stares at you, and he gives kind of a little smirk, and he goes, "Being a shithead to me won't save the prince."
Micah sees red. And he's going to stand up and turn away. For
Prince?
a split second before he turns around and kicks this guy in the ribs as hard as he fucking can.
Give me a strength check.
Micah, you okay?
Whoa! Oh boy.
Oh!
Micah, you hear this guy, you hear a fucking sickening, thundering crack as you completely cave in this guy's chest. Ribs snap, you hear him fucking wheeze out, and he kind of immediately crumples over from the blow.
Micah casts Goodberry and tosses one in his mouth and says, "There for your fucking wound."
Oh boy.
Micah, what?
And if you fucking ever think about Asta again, I swear to Christ, I'll fucking kill you.
The
Christ.
The scientist kind of crumbles, and he's kind of shuddering and barely manages to speak, and he goes, "Seems my monologuing isn't the only soft spot here."
Pike's gonna try and grab Micah to hold him back.
Oh boy.
He's not making any more moves, he's just standing there.
Eventually, Cressus just kind of slowly starts to pass out from the searing pain in both his face and his now collapsed rib cage and probably collapsing ribs. This man has been thoroughly humbled.
Kind of looks. Percy will look to Bartleby. He's like, "Can you summon get one of your crows again to get someone to take him? He could have more information."
Bartleby kind of gives him a thumbs up and starts slowly dragging Cressus out of the room. Kind of hits his head against the door frame as he goes. Starts slowly dragging him down the hall. Bartleby is very short. This man is very tall.
Micah kind of rubs his hand over his face and says, apologize for my loss of restraint there.
It wasn't a bother at all.
Wanda just kind of puts a hand on his shoulder again. Squeezes
You-
a bit.
Micah, puts his hand over Wander's hand for a second and, holds there for a second before he, shakes himself and says, right, we should keep going. I have 9 of these berries left, so, you all should, he kind of passes 2 out to eat to everybody.
Oh.
They'll heal you a bit if you eat it, so.
Interesting.
We should keep going.
For 1 hit point. I was so tempted for Percy to just eat them as soon as he was handed to him.
Oh my god, please.
Micah, you hand Percy the berry before you even explain what they do. He just plops them in his mouth.
Or that works too. They are food, so that'll last you until tomorrow. Actually, they're essentially, you'll that'll sustain you for 2 days.
Interesting.
Yeah. So guess you
There's
don't.
onward.
What?
What were you gonna say?
I was saying, I guess you don't need to eat tomorrow since you ate those, but...
Shrugs and just heads towards wherever this room is supposed to lead to.
Alright,
That's
guess
why.
we're going.
What do we do about the fallen?
I can't exactly just let them out.
Well, no, that wasn't what I was thinking of doing.
Perhaps we should let Ethan. Ethan might be interested in studying.
Yeah. Well, if there's a possibility of one day curing them, if somehow the notes he had on the teeth or whatever could somehow give Ethan a clue on how to reverse engineer the process, I guess, then that would be useful. I don't really want to kill them since they're in a cage right now.
Does the cage look sturdy enough to keep them in?
Not really. So this place wasn't always a laboratory, from what you can tell. The cage will hold for now, but you can kind of just tell from the side work is that these are not meant to be particularly permanent.
Oh dear.
Who'd set them on fire?
That would kill them very painfully and slowly.
Yeah. Can Micah look at the hinges of these cages and see if he can solder them a bit tighter, I guess?
Roll me perception.
Is that
Let's go.
Micah, you do see that the hinges are a tad loose. Not super worryingly, but they could do for a good old tightening. These do look, from what you can tell, these do kind of look like repurposed jail cell bars, so they're not particularly meant for holding in beasts of this caliber.
all right? He is going to use his produce flame cantrip and solder them a bit close and use his water skin to cool it so that the bars are a bit tighter.
Gotcha. Those will probably hold a lot longer. Still, the fallen still clamor and claw and growl and snarl in an attempt to kind of get at you, though.
Well, I can hold for a bit then, I guess.
Until we can get Ethan or someone to
Someone.
deal with that. I guess further down then, and he goes.
Micah follows.
You guys...
And we'll pick up the barrel before they go, just in case we need it.
Oh, boy. Heading back... So are you guys gonna head to the stairs, then?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Heading back towards the main room and up the large, dark, winding stairs, there's a slight feeling of sinking dread the higher you all go, and the only light to guide you is the moon pushing through the colorful panes of the stained glass windows that line the walls. The clock chimes 1:30 a.m., and the bells up in the top of the tower start to ring, kind of a loud, low kind of gong sound. You can kind of hear, as you get higher and higher, the sound of snarling, barking, hissing, a huge chorus of terrible sounds that only grow louder as you make it to the top of this bell tower. And when you come to stand at the top floor, you see rows and rows of iron cages holding back what looks to be dozens upon dozens of fallen, screeching and wailing and clawing to be let out. And Cyrus stands at the end of the room.
Does he see us?
He does indeed.
Found you.
Micah kind of waits.
Cyrus...
Wonder will kind of like position themselves at the front of the group again, like just in case.
Cyrus kind of tilts his head and he goes, I presume you've come to maim me. Deny yourselves a future where your fate is within your own hands.
Maybe some maiming, fire. We did already burn some guy's face off, so...
I have specific plans for you.
Depends on where the night takes us, you know?
No, I'm going to burn his face.
Oh, okay. I
Probably
guess burning the
all of it.
face.
Oh, I'm sure you would like that, wouldn't you? Cyrus...
your villain monologue sucks too. So this runs in the whole shebang.
It certainly does. And he grasps a lever on the side of the wall. And he pulls it down, and as he does, he vanishes into a black cloud of smoke. However...
He pulled the lever.
There is a panel...
the dust settles and he's Family Guy death pose.
Micah's fucking sick burn was too much for him to cope with.
He had a heart attack from it and died.
He's festering. He's beyond balding. The panel behind where Cyrus had been standing kind of shifts, and reveals a massive cage, and that cage begins to slowly slide open as a massive hulking fallen slowly kind of stomps out onto the floor.
Sorry, voice chat.
No, you're
Can we're not. This is okay. Can Wanda toss the barrel at the giant fallen?
Yeah, I mean it could. Yeah, go ahead.
As Wander is tossing it at the fallen right as it goes near its head, can Micah use Scorching Ray to hit it in midair and explode it?
Yeah, he can. Nat, why did you pose that? Go ahead, Micah and Wander can light the barrel on fire. Wander, can you roll me a dexterity check though?
Dexterity.
Also, I'm going to use Produce Flame cantrip instead of Scorching Ray because it's similar.
Wander, it's not perfect aim, but it does the job. You fling this, and Micah, casts his fruity little flame spell. And this barrel fucking bursts into smoldering fire at this fallen's head, and it kind of reels back a little bit, and it screeches this loud kind of metallic roar that kind of shakes your bones and kind of puts a strain on your earlobes, or eardrums. Kind of splinters of like smoldering flaming wood kind of rain down from where it is, and it kind of shakes off its face a little bit, and it snarls, and this thing charges you.
boy.
Before we roll initiative, can I just say that Micah puts his hand on Wander's shoulder and says, "You have given me the honor of making the biggest Molotov cocktail I've ever seen in my life."
Oh my god. Well, I figured it might be useful.
It was, and I'm so proud of you.
Are we rolling initiative?
You guys are rolling initiative.
Oh boy, let's go! First,
Hey, if y'all want to know about a funny little thing, if you select your token, select your token and then roll initiative, then it'll create an automatic initiative order. Yay!
oh, so should I wait? So you click on the icon.
Yep.
I guess I'll roll initiative in here. Oh boy.
Oh my god, we're all so fucked. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Oh god.
I guess that means
Oh my God.
me and Jake are contesting initiative.
What's your dex? Dex, Micah.
My dex is 0.
I get to go before you.
Okay.
My dex is a 3.
Well,
Sorry, I was cracking
fucked.
my window. What did you do? Oh boy.
we're all fucked.
Bye, Talos.
Percy's dex is higher, so he's before Micah.
That's an 8 for me, so I think it's Wander.
Wander gets to go first.
Yeah, it's Wander, the Fallen, Percy, Jay, then Pike. I think.
You want to write that down, bud?
Yeah, it's probably a good idea to write it down. Here, I can also.
Do you need my initiative tracker that I used?
No, I have a piece of paper. I'm a big boy.
Okay.
Writing. Alright.
Okay.
Go ahead, Wander. Give us the
Wander
goods.
is going to cast Bless on everybody. I think it's up to 3 people, so they'll do everyone by themselves. Does that? There we go. So, you will get a D4 to attacks and saving throws.
Hell yeah.
Malcolm is concentrating. And then they're just gonna like rush up in its face with their sword and shield.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Let's see if I did the math on this properly. Spoiler alert, probably didn't. How's a 4 looking, buddy?
4 does not
hit?
Yeah.
A 4 does. It just misses. Just. So close.
This Fallen takes a big fucking bite, or attempts to take a big fucking bite, and bites down hard into pure air. Let's see.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's it. I shat that roll so bad, because of course I did.
Let's go!
Yay!
Alright,
Percy, you're up.
okay. Percy kind of just, he's not running up to it yet, but he's kind of like, he's like strolling towards it, but he, takes out his, short sword, and he unfortunately is gonna ruin the nice gloves that, Magpie made for him, and he's gonna, like, kind of quickly, like, slice his, like, blade over the palm of his hand. And with his hand, he's gonna cast the Bane on the big boy.
Oh boy.
Hopefully that showed up. So he needs to make a charisma saving throw.
Make it for me.
No, you have to roll the charisma
I
saving
do.
throw.
Oh, okay, my
Or
bad.
for the shadow guy.
My bad.
I'll tell you if it hits.
Another 4. God damn it.
That
We're all
fails.
rolling
So
bad.
this is the exact opposite of bless. So now anytime Blessed Bane buddies. Hell yeah. So now, anytime he makes a attack or saving throw or anything like that, he has to, you have to roll a d4 and subtract from that.
Oh boy!
Teehees. How do I put a concentration thing on?
If you click on your icon and like underneath it, there's like a little thing. You can just choose the middle option. There's a bunch of things to choose from.
Ooh. Interesting. Alright, and that's Percy's turn. He's just cast
Gotcha.
Bane.
Micah, you're up.
Micah is going to send Smudge takes his turn after Micah, because he works like Dave. But Micah is going to go on the offensive pretty much immediately. And he is going to cast he's gonna cast Flame Sphere.
Ooh.
So you get a d4.
Yes. So let's see. That is. Yeah.
Roll a 5.
It looks like damage.
Yeah.
What's
It's auto roll damage and crit.
It's not a ranged spell attack? Wait.
It is essentially like I choose a 5-foot diameter sphere of fire to go into a certain place. And any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere has to make a dexterity saving throw. And it takes a 2d6 fire damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one. So, essentially, I am going to cast this this sphere in kind of this area.
You're going for its legs.
Well, I want to make sure that if Wander gets closer to it, then it will Wander.
Oh, I figure Wonder is like in its face. That's as close as I can get, kind of.
Okay. Mike can cast it like right here.
Okay, so the left legs, like left front legs or so.
Yep. Can you make a dexterity saving throw for me?
Oh boy!
Minus a d4.
That would be a 16.
Well, where the fuck did my fucking character sheet go? Oh, right. Damn it. You save on that, but, let me roll a 2d6. You take 3 damage.
Woo!
Yeah!
Hell yeah! Check that out, fellas.
And it lasts for a minute, so probably the whole time we'll be in combat.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 10 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Pike, you're up.
Oh, wait. I have Smudge.
Oh, that's right. Smudge, you're up.
Smudge goes after. Smudge, is going to, cast Flame Seed. Let's see. Let me roll to hit. It's 9 plus 5. 14 to hit.
14 hits.
14 hits. Okay, that is 1d6 of fire damage. Oh my god.
Yeah! 1 point of damage.
1d6 plus proficiency bonus, and my proficiency. Okay, 1d. That's 3 points of damage.
Hell yeah. Let's see. This might be a while. Okay! So, Pike, it's your turn.
Pike's gonna cast a Sacred Flame.
Yeah!
You can see the very target must succeed on a dexterity. Man, I gotta roll a lot fucking tonight. Let's see. Haha, that's a 7. My god.
Yeah, 1d8 radiant.
much damage is that one?
I think in that rolls 5.
Oh, okay. Alrighty.
Let's go. But
then I think is that the end of your turn, Pike?
I think so. Oh, Pike will get a little closer.
Okay. Alright, then it's Wander again.
Alright, so correct me if I'm wrong. With this smite, you can call that after you've hit. It's like once you've hit, you can do a smite. Or do I have to call that before I hit?
For smite?
Yeah, it says starting at second level, when you hit a creature with a melee attack, you can expend one spell slot to do radiant damage. So
it doesn't sound like it's specified, so I guess it could just be either or.
alright, well, they'll try and smack it with their sword, so.
Ooh.
And then they'll go for a smite.
Yeah, that hits.
Alright, let me just... There we go. 15 damage total.
Oh shit.
Boy.
Whoa.
Get on my calculator.
Paladins. I love them.
Alrighty. I'm gonna... Please let me roll decently. That's 2! I'm alright. It's fine.
Pumpkin got the curse of the bad rolls this time.
You know
Oh
what?
no.
I'm a tough it out. I'm a brave it out. Fellas, I'm built different.
You're a brave little boy.
Fellas, I'm built different.
They're like, oh, this thing will probably kill us, and it's like...
No, in my defense, that's the one that I had to put for next week because Fraz isn't here. This is one I made up on the spot. Anyways, that fails. That was a 2. And this thing makes yet another attempt to bite you, Wander, and bites hard at the air. However, I will say maybe it's not a good idea to be right up in the face of a fallen.
Really not, but better than their friends, so.
Aww. Percy, you're up.
Alright. If I were to move Percy, like, over here, would that count for Percy being in flank with Wander? Yeah. Okay, hell yeah. So Percy's just, like, after casting Bane and everyone doing their other thing, they kind of run over.
Gotcha.
Get over here, and they've taken out both their sword was already out, but they have their dagger out now as well, and they just kind of run up, and they kind of, like, immediately just try to, like, slam their short sword into the side of this thing. That is a... Let me roll. That is a... Where's my thing? That is, and then the D4. So I think this hits. Wait. 12 plus 5 plus 1. I think that hits.
18?
18.
Oh, 18 certainly hits.
Alright. He's going to... He just kind of runs up and slams the short sword into its side. That is... I'm going to add sneak attack with that. So that is... Where's my D6? There's my D6. That is 4 plus... That's 4 piercing damage plus another... 1 sneak attack. So that's 5 in total, and then he rips the short sword out and immediately goes to slash with his dagger. That is... Oh, that's a nat 20. Shit. Okay, wow. That's probably not gonna be a lot. "12 piercing damage. Never mind."
Okay.
And that's his turn.
So how much damage is that?
First bit of damage was with the short sword was I remember. I rolled a 5. I think it was 5. I rolled. Yeah, it was 5 for the short sword, and with the dagger, it was a 12.
Oh, okay. Let's see. 12 damage. That would be. Sorry, I'm bad at math. All right.
I'm bad at math too. The amount of times I blank on rolling calculations in my head.
All right, Micah, you're next.
Alrighty, Micah is going to, he is going to, well, first of all, I'm going to need you to roll that dexterity saving check from the flaming sphere.
That's right. That is an 8.
That does not work, so that is 11 damage.
Ooh.
And for his actual turn, he is going to take out. He is going to. He's going to take out his whip.
Ooh.
And and that does not hit.
Oh yeah, no, that doesn't.
That doesn't hit, but now it's Smudge's turn.
Smudge might finish this off.
Oh,
and Smudge is going to come up next to Micah. And cast Fiery Teleportation.
Oh shit.
Well, actually, no. Smudge is right next to the boss right now. He is gonna teleport to Micah. And within the space where Smudge once occupied, an explosion is going to occur.
Oh boy.
You what?
Make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh boy. Come on, buddy. That's a 9.
That does not work, actually. So that's 1d6 plus 2. That's 7 fire damage.
Alright. How much damage was that total?
Altogether?
Yeah.
For both Micah and Smudge?
Yeah.
Just turn?
Sorry.
18 damage?
Oh shit. This thing is dead.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah!
Micah blows this shit up.
Yeah, Micah, with that last one, you send this thing's head clean off with a fiery explosion. It kind of bursts into a big fucking mess of purple and black guts. There's flaming chunks of it falling around you guys. You have thoroughly fucking burst this thing like it's a gross fucking pimple.
Micah pats Sponge's head.
This fallen kind of slumps loudly to the floor with a big ol' thunderous thump. Though you have, in fact, destroyed my funny little monster, Cyrus has indeed fled the room. The beasts in the surrounding cages kind of trill and roar furiously around you. And the clock tower kind of just is, other than that, eerily silent.
Percy kind of I'm guessing Cyrus was like right over here or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Percy's just like, as soon as the thing falls dead, he kind of backs up and he kind of jogs over like here and is like inspecting to see if there's like any sort of like trap door that he could have fled through, or
Mike is gonna go over there as well.
like any sign of basically figuring out whether or not he left through mundane like trap door or secret entrance, or he like teleported away.
Roll me perception.
That is where's my perception? Dirty 20.
You can kind of tell, as Cyrus kind of ported away, that he is extremely skilled in magic. So he did thoroughly teleport himself away from this clock tower.
Well, shit.
There is no secret like passageway where he was standing.
He got away. Would Percy know anything about like ways of like, if there are ways of tracking where someone went through where someone teleported?
You would know a little bit, but I would say the means of which Cyrus did this kind of is a little bit outside of your reach of the way that you know how people typically would do it. That's a good way to put it, I guess.
That makes sense. He did it in a weird, fucked up way that Percy doesn't know how to try.
Yeah, or he's very well read and is pretty expanded in a bunch of different kinds of magic, so it just might be one that you're not particularly familiar with.
Alright, well, gone.
Were you gonna say something, Finch?
Can Wanda, like, take a moment and do that thing they do and, like, put a hand on the fallen's head to try and, like, see its lost memories?
You can indeed.
They will do that.
Wander, you put your hand on this creature's head, and your palm gently rests on, or I guess what was left of its head. Micah blew its head off. You place your head on some intact part of its body, and you kind of close your eyes, and you see Cressus, or a vision of Cressus rather, kind of approach you, and he goes, "Don't worry, this won't hurt you at all. Well, maybe just a little bit." And he raises what looks like to be like a very small kind of creature that he's turned into a fallen, and whatever person that this thing used to be screams out before their vision goes black.
Hmm.
Can Micah kind of inspect the area that Percy had to see if he can like scrounge up any arcane impressions, I guess, from it, and see if he can get a hold on what kind of like where Cyrus went?
Sure. What did you want to roll for that?
How about Arcana?
Okay. Give it to me.
Oh, baby, a triple.
Oh, wow. So, Micah, despite your high roll, for some reason, Cyrus seems to kind of extend outside your capability. He may just kind of be using some sort of magic to block your ability to kind of track him down. For now, you really can't seem to find a way of, like, telling where he went.
Any luck, Micah?
Nothing. My best guess is that, well, he probably either kind of blocked me from, or anyone, I suppose, from tracking him after he had, done his disappearing act. But realistically, I don't think one could use a teleportation type of ritual or spell to go halfway across the continent. So if I had to guess, he would still be like in the area. Otherwise, I don't really know. I can't give you much of a lead here.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he could really be anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Well, what do we do, gang?
Do we? I mean, I mean, there is a chance he could still be in the city. However, he also could not be. You can really just teleport anywhere. But is Magpie Bartleby like with us, or did they like split off from us?
Magpie is in the doorway. Bartleby went to go get help for those people that you found in here, but Magpie is like kind of leaning in the doorway, observing you guys, not helping at all with the fight that you just partook in.
He kind of looks over to Magpie, like, what do you think we should do?
I mean, it kind of depends. Kind of depends. Wasn't your little fire friend over there yelling about an Asta?
Oh yeah, right. The prince.
Yeah. What about him?
Well, I mean, if you're that worried about him, why don't you go? I don't know. See him.
It's complicated. We can check things out from a distance.
Magpie seems to cock their head at that.
You should probably check it out.
We should check it out, and I want to. But it would probably not be a great idea if I interacted with him directly.
You on bad terms with him?
No.
The prince somehow?
What?
Did you upset the prince somehow?
You could say that. It's complicated, and seriously, I didn't think I would be ever seeing him or talking to him again. So, we can check it out from a distance, and I don't know, maybe send him turn it to a bird and drop a letter on his desk that says, "Hey, maybe don't go out in dark places at night because there's someone trying to assassinate you." Yada yada yada. Whatever. And then we'll be good, and we can leave out of it, and I can never return.
Foxglove pokes through Percy's bag and kind of looks up at you.
Maybe you can talk to him and he'll understand.
It is. I appreciate the advice, Pike, but if I were in his position and I suddenly reappeared after 4 years, I would not be entirely kind about it.
I mean, however you want to handle it.
I mean, there's a possibility someone might be trying to kill him. If anything, I feel like now is maybe the time to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not contesting going. I'm just saying that maybe we keep our distance.
I think maybe you're being kind of a pussy.
Okay, well, fuck you. I guess we're talking to him now.
Ooh, I guess we are.
Fuck you and your riling me up tactics. We're going.
You should give me that granola bar in your bag.
You want my granola bar?
Yeah.
You get the chocolate chip, but that's it.
Yes. He reaches with gross little grabby fairy hands.
Micah hands over the chocolate chip.
Hell yeah. You hear as he takes it and unwraps it. Alright, so
Before they go, Wanda's just gonna have a quiet moment where they stand next to the fallen corpse and they're just like, I'm sorry, I hope you're somewhat better now.
Aww.
And then they move on.
Do you think we should bring this somewhere?
It's probably best just to leave it, and the dead foxes and like Ethan can keep
Yeah,
it somewhere
that's true.
before someone else like touches this and gets corrupted.
That's true.
Sorry.
Right,
just
guess we
kinda,
have
like,
that.
put an arm around Pike's shoulders and like squish them.
Aww.
Aw.
Little squeaky toy noise Pike.
Yeah. So are we heading like straight to Aleve, or are we stopping anywhere?
Do you guys need to stop anywhere?
I don't need to stop anywhere.
I don't need to stop anywhere either. Seeing what we're doing.
Maybe just like drop word with Caspian about like, hey, there are people out like to get you. Just be careful. We have a thing to take care of, but be careful.
You guys can kind of probably the beach is not too far off of it. Since you actually let me go back to the map. The beach is not entirely too far off from where you guys are, and enough yowling and yelling could probably attract the big doofus to come crawling to you. And he emerges out of the sea like a damp puppy, and
He stays like a good few, like a little bit back from the ocean from where the others are. He just kind of stands back.
Micah goes to stand near Percy.
Aww. Caspian kind of looks at you guys and looks at the fucking explosion of nasty black blood all over you guys, and he goes, I feel like something happened.
Oh, Micah, from his vantage point, wants to take off of this, goes back and says, I exploded things!
Good job, Micah. Always believed in you. He gives you 2 thumbs up.
Thanks!
Pike, do you want to explain?
We discovered a plot. That's a plot to kill you and to try and corrupt Uli. There's a lot going on. There was someone doing experiments to make people into Thorlin, and there was a big one, and it exploded all over us.
I did that.
Yeah.
Caspian kind of looks very wide-eyed at you, Pike, and kind of looks from you, and then looks to Micah and Percy. Then looks
Percy
to
pats
Wander.
Micah on the shoulder, like, yep, this guy did it.
He kind of like interchanges from glancing at all of you, and then he kind of looks at you and Wander, Pike, and he goes, "Are you two? Are you all right?"
Mm-hmm.
We're fine, but we're worried. I'm worried about you and Uli. And I'm sad about the people who were turned into Thorlin.
No, Pike. Caspian grabs you and he gives you a big giant bear hug.
Aww. Pike's just gonna grin at me like he.
He gives you a. Oh, go ahead.
Nuzzle like a puppy very in.
Aww.
Aw.
Pike, Caspian kind of squishes your cheeks a little bit, and he kind of looks up and he looks at you, Wander, and he goes, "Are you alright?"
We didn't take any hits, but they know a lot. It's concerning, to say the least. They were talking about the kids that you tutor. They don't seem to care if they're casualties to get to you.
Caspian kind of frowns at that, and he kind of puts a finger to his chin and kind of seems to be thinking, and he goes, "Well, I guess I'll have to put Isidon on lockdown then. That's unfortunate. I've been stabbed before. I mean, that's fine.
You've been stabbed? Oh. Also, they just remembered something. They're gonna use their last 5 points of healing and reach up and without saying anything, just touch his shoulder and put some healing into it, but not say anything.
Oh, he goes, "Oh, how did you?
They know a lot. They know a lot. They know about that."
Oh, Caspian kind of looks a little bit embarrassed, and he's like, "I meant to get it fixed, but I've got things to do." Okay. And he kind of sort of pushes into your hand, Wander, and he goes, well, thank you for that.
Be careful, okay? There were some notes about a saint and how easy it is to corrupt them. So,
what do you mean? What do you mean by that?
This crazy scientist guy, he had notes about like how even the teeth, like if you get nicked by one, that's all it takes. And then he was experimenting on this saint from Alave. Ethan will get the notes if you really want to look through them, but
Wander, Caspian kind of looks a little bit concerned at you, and he goes, are you alright? I know I asked that already, but you seem pretty distraught about this.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I just...
You're in danger, why wouldn't I be?
His eyes go a little bit wide at that, and he goes, oh, well.
Pike's just in the back like, yay.
Mike is also making the exact same face that Pike is.
Caspian's ears kind of flicker a little bit. Shut up. Stop. Live fish reaction. Wander, Caspian's ears kind of flicker a little bit at you, saying that you're concerned about him, and he gives you a very soft and sympathetic smile, and he goes, well, I promise I'll be careful. If you promise to be careful, I will be sure to he kind of kicks the sand, and as he does, you guys kind of hear a very distant kind of whale sound, and you start to see something large kind of shifting in the water. And
there are rocks around here or something to hide behind.
Nope. This is a
Mike
plain ass
in front of Percy.
Percy turns around and like covers himself in his hood. He is not looking.
Micah steps in front of Percy, and Smudge goes in front of Micah.
Aw. Caspian kind of turns and kind of watches as Yuli's head breaks the surface of the water. And she kind of very slowly begins to tower over you guys. The kind of light from her markings illuminates the beach, and she kind of tips her large head at you. And it takes her a moment before she starts to slowly notice that Percy is here. And she kind of lowers her head again, and you see her kind of peel back her lips to start growling at you again.
No, Yuli.
Yeah, you go.
It's okay. Percy is friend, okay?
But Pike, you say this, and Yuli is very distinctly placing her long neck in between you and Percy.
Is Percy being able to like say like his back face like this? Is that enough to keep her influence from affecting his sickness, or?
Percy.
Hi.
Percy.
Oh no.
Hi.
Yuli looks away from Pike, and though she has put her teeth away, she slowly comes up to you, kind of barrels through Micah, and she grabs you like a kitten by the back of your shirt.
Oh no.
He kind of like he's surprised by that. He kind of yelps a bit, like ah, and
you get lifted into the air by the moon god.
Oh god, how's that sickness treating him right now? Being held by the goddess.
You somehow, for some reason, Yuli's influence seems to have a little bit more of a positive effect on you. Your head doesn't feel any more cloudy than it typically is. You don't feel like that weird heavy cast on you, when she was around you the first time. She kind of holds you like a kitten, lifts you in the air, and she doesn't shake you, but she's definitely, like, doing that weird thing when, like, your dog finds a baby bunny in the yard, and she's kind of, like, nosing around and kind of getting a feel for you.
Percy still looks terrified.
She's
not as terrified looking as he did on the beach the first time, but his eyes are, like, wide, and he's, like, trying to, like, stay as calm as possible. He's like,
Don't worry, I think she's just playing with you.
Caspian kind of puts his hands on his hips, and he looks up at you, and he goes, I don't know, Percy, I think she's starting to like you.
Percy is just mouth closed, eye wide, looking at... He is not saying anything, and internally, he's like, put me down, put me down, put me down, put me down, put me down.
Micah, like, barrels up and is like, hey, maybe don't do that when someone's clearly fucking scared of you. Good God, put him down.
Micah, Yuli drops Percy into the ocean and then grabs you instead.
Oh no.
She snatches you. She very gently, like a Labrador holding an egg, is holding you in her mouth.
Can Wanda try and help Percy out of the ocean?
Yeah. Wonder, Yuli has not dropped Percy too deep. You could probably walk your tall ass over there and pluck him out.
Yeah.
It's probably also easier because Percy, like, he can swim, he doesn't like the ocean, but he can get to you easily, Wander.
While you were being fished out of the ocean, Micah's being thrown around. Micah, she's tossing you in the air like you're a tiny little you're a little bug.
Micah is screeching. And in between his screeches, you can kind of hear, Wonder, Caspian, I don't want her to drop me in the ocean. I don't know how to swim. Please, I'm so scared.
Pike jumps in the ocean and swims over to Yuli and pats her on the back. It's like, okay, come on, grab me.
Pike.
Wanda's standing, like, arms wide, ready to catch Micah.
Micah, she chucks you one last time, and she tosses you into the air, and she, like, opens her mouth really wide, and Caspian goes, no, not that one! No!
Micah shrieks, and, in his panic, he is going to,
Oh no.
How to piss off the moon goddess.
Oh, no.
He is going to turn into a tiny little sparrow and fly out of the way as fast as he can.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
What?
Or roll me a dexterity check. Ah! She snaps her mouth closed, Micah.
Percy is watching from, like, when he got on the beach, he probably scrambled behind whoever is the tallest, which is Caspian, and he watches and he's like, oh my God.
From inside Yuli's mouth, you can hear a little.
Yuli, open your mouth. Micah's a friend, not food.
Caspian.
Wanda's kind of standing there, like, I wish I could say she's not usually like this, but she's usually like this.
Caspian goes, alright, come here, and he's, like, snapping his fingers at him. He's like, down, and Yuli kind of, like, makes a very sad noise and looks at him, and he goes, down, drop it.
Oh my God.
Drop it, and she goes, she makes another sad wail noise, and he goes, drop it. And Micah, you are, in a mouthful of ancient moon god spit, you are spat out of Yuli's mouth.
A little sparrow comes tumbling out and immediately goes to perch on Percy's shoulder. And, like, hides under Percy's hair.
Oh. Caspian looks at Yuli and he goes, we have had discussions about this. you can't do things like that. And she goes, anyway.
She goes, what?
She goes,
oh, you just went silent.
Sorry. I think I was being too soft and didn't pick up.
Yeah. He was just silent. I'm like, they're talking telepathically. That's what's happening here.
They're speaking in tongues. No, she makes a sad wail noise, and Caspian kind of looks apologetically at you guys, and he's like, I should bring her home. Thank you for telling me all of this. This is, unfortunate, to say the least. Was there anything else that I should be aware of, I suppose?
There are some people's remains that will need to be taken home once Ethan's done looking at them.
Oh. Caspian pats you on the head, Pike, and he goes, I'll make sure personally that those are taken care of. We won't leave anyone behind.
Thank you, Caspian. I love you, bro.
Tiberius is involved, and we also have so much dirt on that man. So much dirt.
Wander Caspian grasps you by the arms and gets in your face, and he goes, what do you mean? What dirt?
Kiss.
They look kind of like startled. He's like that all of a sudden. It's like, well, there's, I mean, they're just hoping someone will save them.
Yes, he's having an affair, for one thing. Though we might have started a rumor that isn't true. So apologies in advance.
Wait,
but,
what do you mean a rumor that isn't true?
We really needed to get upstairs, and we needed a distraction. I hope you understand. You're a real good sport, Caspian.
What did you say? Percy, what did you do?
Percy said you were there.
You said I had what? You said I put my penis inside of Tiberius?
I mean, we found like the woman he was having an affair with, and she was very upset, and we needed a distraction. She's also part of this society of sorts, so no harm, no foul. But
what do you mean no harm, no foul? People think I put my penis inside Tiberius.
I mean, whoever was at the party, the rumors spread fast.
You're not helping.
Yeah.
Why did you let them say that I put my penis inside Tiberius, Wander?
I wasn't there.
Yeah, we only came for the after effect. There was a lot of yelling.
It was very effective.
Caspian looks at you, Percy.
Hi.
Caspian stares at you for a really long time, and he goes,
Percy stopping fucking away from the ocean.
Caspian is so close to throwing you into the sea.
Oh no.
He gives your arms a little pat, and he goes, well then, I'm going to go take a long shower and raise Isidon's defenses. I did not put my penis inside of Tiberius.
Well, we know you didn't.
I don't know. Now, like, half of the nobles of this country think that, but thank you.
Yeah, well, we know you didn't.
He glares at you and starts climbing on Yuli's back.
He smiles.
The most important ones know you didn't, and Pike grins and kind of angles their head in the direction of Wanda.
Oh my god.
Then gives Caspian a thumbs up.
Caspian gives Pike a very defeated thumbs up and is now pouting. He goes, anyways, thank you. And with that, Caspian waves at you all, and Yuli, very reluctantly, gives Wander and Pike a little big ol' moon god face nuzzle, and starts vanishing into the water.
Alright, to elevate then, in any direction besides near the ocean?
Micah... Oh, go ahead.
I just feel like that's the shortcut, but sure.
Micah goes back into Micah form and is like, unfortunately, I do feel like it'll be fastest.
It'll be what?
It'll be fastest to go near the ocean, but, if it would make you more comfortable, we can go the long way around.
She might try and get him again. I'm just letting you know.
It's whatever you all want to do.
See, would it make you feel like shit if we were near the ocean and near Yuli?
I don't mind being near the ocean. It's just no offense to both you, Pike, and Wander. She's scary.
Alright, we're taking the long way around then.
Well, you guys, if you guys go back into Goldcrest, you could most certainly find several horses that are stabled there, unattended.
We're going to Goldcrest. We're going to find horses.
They're not yours, but, I mean, who would stop you from stealing them?
We're stealing horses.
You guys steal some horses. Wander, thankfully for you, there is a decently sized Clydesdale that could very easily carry you instead of a tiny, strangely muscular pony this time.
Never again. After those pictures.
Oh my god.
No, we don't talk about strong horse anyways.
I'm going to collect strong horse.
You guys gather your stolen horses and you take off towards Alave. You all kind of ride through the night, urging your horses on through the cold rain and the dark. You trek through the landscape for several hours, long enough to watch the sky kind of give way to dawn and fill with a bright pink and gold light. When you've traveled kind of far enough, Alave begins to kind of creep up on the horizon, standing tall as you pass through the lush forests that kind of thrive around it. The white stone of the castles are practically beaming in the rising sun. Unara, the goddess of justice and peace, seems to be resting calmly among her city, kind of sitting dormant in place within its center. You make your way past kind of the beginning gates, your horse's hooves clopping against the bright paved streets, and the city is absolutely bustling with people that kind of just barely separate in time to allow you passage as you head to the main castle. When you arrive at the gates and dismount, you're stopped by several heavily armored guards in very impressive armor. One of them kind of stands a little bit tall, and he goes, "The castle isn't open for visitors at this time. You're gonna have to leave."
Why not?
Oh, yeah, because I said so. He kind
I'd
of
like a reason.
Security reasons. For security. We're not
We would
letting
like to
little hobgoblins in.
Would security be lifted for the Earl of Ronine?
None of us is little.
The guard kind of stands at that name, Micah, and you can't see his face, but you can kind of see the way that he's taking pause, and he kind of goes to the other guard and nods at him, and he goes, maybe go ask about these ones. And
Micah lifts his hand and says, "I've got my ring here. If you need that. I mean, I'm not letting you take it since it's my signet ring, but..."
The guard definitely kind of, he recognizes your ring, but not your face. So he kind of nods to the other armored guard that,
I grew a lot more facial hair. I changed my hair up.
You're not helping the not recognizing you thing.
I mean, I used to have short hair.
Micah, a very tall, also heavily armored, being kind of steps out through the doorway after a bit, once the guard had, gone in to fetch someone. And you recognize this person as Yatoris.
It's the bitch.
No.
Yatoris kind of tilts his head and he goes, yeah, you can let them by. It's fine. And he nods at the guard and then immediately turns around and hustles into the castle.
Don't know why he would be acting like that. Alright, let's go.
After you.
Micah's going.
You guys. You guys make your way into the castle, and you kind of wander in like through the beginning corridor, and Eutorus kind of says over his shoulder, still without making eye contact with you, Micah. The queen is in an important meeting at the moment, but
she always is.
Yep, always is. Certainly a very busy woman. The prince, however, will see you all. And he very quickly hustles along back to the corridor.
I'm sure he's nervous about something.
I see why, but whatever. I don't have the emotional capacity right now to muse over saints being fucking weird.
You guys, you follow him and make your way into a large gathering room, and a young man kind of stands in the back, calmly tending to a shrine of Unara, and he places a stick of lit incense in a holder as you all enter, and he turns and he begins to greet you, and he goes, "Oh, you must be the people that Eutorus..." And he pauses, Micah, and he looks at you. And you look at him. And he looks at you.
Micah kind of shrinks in on himself and looks much smaller than he actually is. And says, "Hi, Asta. We've got things to talk about."
I think we do.
It's probably not what you think. It's actually things are shit. And I'm concerned about your safety.
Micah, Asta kind of looks at you, and takes a little deep breath in, and he goes, is this, perhaps, about the matter of, plotted assassination, by any chance? Wonderful concepts to think about, really.
So you know about that.
He knew about that.
Asta kind of turns his head a little bit, and he goes, Robin Riddle, if you would. And a figure you guys did not notice in the back of the room kind of slinks out of the shadows, and a very large owlin, with black feathers, kind of stands tall and very slowly starts to hand Asta a slip of paper. And Asta kind of takes it into his fingers and kind of brushes them along the crease, and he goes, I think I know a lot of things I probably shouldn't.
Okay, cool. So you know about it, and everything's fine, and things are great. We have other people to warn. So, we wanted to make sure.
Micah, you're going to stay in here.
Yes, sir.
Asta kind of slowly blinks at you, and he goes, "So I know a few things, but I think perhaps maybe you should catch me up on the things you perhaps think I should know about."
Well, I think you know about the plot to assassinate you from the Thori Society, and they're kind of planning on assassinating other saints and all. That's about all. Kind of trying to take over all the cities. You know the Cyrus guy? So he's a bit fucked up. I didn't get to have a up close encounter with him. I would have, but that had to be put off because he did a funny little like teleport jump and couldn't pursue him. But yeah, a couple of the city's leaders are endangered. So that sucks a lot. I feel like I'm downplaying it a bit.
Asta kind of looks at you, in a very soft way, and he goes, perhaps just a tad.
You're doing that thing.
What thing?
You've got that expression on your face. Oh, okay. You're safe, yes, at least.
For now, we've tightened security around the city, particularly around the castle, as I'm sure you're already aware.
Maybe stop those walks around the garden at night. That seems like prime real estate. If I were an assassin, I would be like, oh boy, this person, this target who I'm supposed to assassinate goes out for walks late at night. What a wonderful opportunity this is.
I suppose so.
Got a plan.
I tend to take them with my fiancé, but I suppose that...
Or what now?
Asta's eyes kind of go a little bit wide as he kind of glances at the floor a bit, and he goes, and he glances at you, Taurus, who is standing behind you, Micah, and he goes,
oh.
You know, surprise.
Micah's face kind of drops. And anyone who would be looking at his face kind of sees him go through like the stages of grief. But he never really reaches the acceptance bit. But he schools his face into a very tense expression. Says, when did that happen?
A few months ago, actually. You know, I figured that it's time for me to take up the mantle that I've been avoiding for some time. You know, we have to grow up and do the things that are right for our city and our responsibilities, and I am fulfilling what's expected of me.
Right. Then I'm... Congratulations.
Thank you. Micah, you hear Taurus kind of, like, grit his teeth, behind you. And, Asta kind of goes, well, stay losing. I think that maybe perhaps I will give you all a bit to gather yourselves. You all look exhausted. I'll have the servants show you to your rooms so you can perhaps take a moment to gather yourself, and I'll meet you back here once you're settled.
I'll just go to the one that I used to occupy.
Of course. I will, I'll be here then. Magpie, if I could have a word with you. And Magpie kind of pokes his head around the corner, he goes, ah! Lovely.
Shit. When did you get here?
Oh, you know, I'm always keeping my eye on things.
Okay. Congratulations again.
Asta takes a very deep breath and he goes, "Thank you, Micah. It means a lot coming from you."
Yeah, I'm glad you found happiness with someone. And he turns around and leaves for the room that he had occupied on many an occasion.
Oh boy. Eutorus is standing in the doorway like, "Alrighty then. I'll add that to my fan fiction later."
Percy's staring at Eutorus, not like surprised. He's just looking at Eutorus.
Eutorus looks at Percy and he goes, I think I know you.
You do?
I
Can't
think
say
so.
I know you.
You're the one that Ethan he makes like a circle with his fingers.
Oh my god.
he like puts like a finger in and out.
I see I've grown a reputation.
A bit. At least among me.
Among you. Does he share those kind of things with you?
No. I prod until I can get some form of
you're a
story
weirdo.
about it.
You're a weirdo.
Weirdo is a harmful term. I call myself an entrepreneur of the sensual writing.
Listen, buddy, I'm already pretty fucked in the head, and what you just described is already pretty weird for my standards.
I mean, listen. It's a hobby.
An interesting one.
I'm just saying, I feel you. I see you. I understand that this is probably a hard time for you.
He looks to Asta, and he's like, "This is who you're marrying, Your Majesty?"
Asta kind of, like, purses his lips together, and he just kind of swallows that down, and he nods.
Right. Kind of a downgrade. And he walks out.
Asta's staring at the floor and not disagreeing. Anyways. Magpie kind of watches you all kind of go back to your, be shown to your rooms for a second. And he looks at Asta and he goes, "It is kind of a downgrade." And Asta goes, "Shh, be quiet." No. After a while, you guys kind of, like, rest up a bit.
Would you say a long rest?
You know what? You guys fucking pass out for the next... How long is a long rest?
8 hours, I think.
You guys pass out for the next 8 hours in the middle of the morning.
They did ride all night.
Yeah. You guys have yourselves a good fucking clunk out. You get to shower. Some of you get some food into you. And you kind of make your way back to, Asta's little kind of gathering room.
Probably still in our, like, fancy clothes since we don't have anything else. Percy's keeping his arms out with his fancy clothes still.
Asta probably offered you clean clothes to wear. You could still wear your blood-covered fancy clothes if you'd like.
I still need the 8th.
Oh, that's right. Alright, Percy's still being a little weirdo.
Yeah, he's probably wearing something makeshift going on, but his arms are still out.
Speaking of Ethan is there.
Teehees.
He's standing there with Asta, who's in the middle of having a conversation with him as you guys walk in.
Micah is avoiding eye contact and is still very much drawn in on himself.
Aww.
Pike puts an arm around his shoulders.
Oh.
Micah actually squeezes Pike's hand in return.
Aw.
Eutorus is kind of just standing off to the side. Asta seems to have reprimanded him at some point because he's a little bit quieter.
Good.
Ethan, you guys are catching the tail end of a conversation that Asta's having with Ethan, and he goes, Sophia has to have a hand in all of this. I can't imagine that she doesn't. Magpie, do you still have those documents you made on her? And Magpie kind of sits up from the couch that he's been sitting on, and he goes, Of course I do! Stashing them away somewhere nice and safe. And Asta kind of looks at him, and he goes, And that would be the old mansion on the edge of town. Nobody would ever live there. Not with my measurements in place. And he puts his hands on his hips, and he kind of perks out his chest a little bit. Asta very slowly pinches the bridge of his nose, and he closes his eyes. And he goes, Didn't ask you to put those all the way over there, but I would appreciate it if you would go get those for me.
What old mansion on the edge of town are we talking? Like, in terms of old mansions, there's a few. I mean, are we talking about the Traves, the Gilcotts, the Forwoods, the Silversteins, the Poliforts, maybe the Whetstones?
A lot of them mansions.
What was his name? Orion?
Oh.
Something like that. I don't know. That door was really easy to lockpick, and Asta just very quickly grabs Magpie and puts their face under his arm, and he goes, anyways.
Magpie, did you break into my house?
Magpie looks at Micah from underneath Asta's arm, and he goes, I broke into a house.
Micah, did you break into my house?
I broke into a house.
Did you break into a house that had a very big oak tree in its back gardens? And did this house also happen to be abandoned?
Micah, I think I broke into your house.
I think you broke into my house too.
Aiden is standing there with a claw in between his teeth, and he goes, "Okay, I see we're already having this issue." Percy, Aiden's eyes are drawn to your arms inconspicuously.
He kind of I think he notices, and then he goes to kind of cross his arms to kind of accentuate his arms more.
Ethan's ears flicker a little bit, and then he goes and he looks back to Asta after casting another glance at you, and he goes, well, anyways, I think maybe it's worth it to look into Sophia's behavior in all of this.
Sorry, no, I'm still not over the fact that you broke into my fucking house. Did you take anything?
I didn't take any. In fact, I put something in there. That's the
opposite.
What do you
mean put something in there?
I put special documents that Asta asked me to keep nice and safe. What
Was anything missing when you happened to re-enter the house a couple of times?
I don't think so. Listen, I like to take things. I tend to not take things when there's nothing else to take in there. I think someone else has already gone and taken things from there. I think that's the whole point.
What?
What?
Oh, can I have a moment? Just give me 1 second. And he walks outside, closes the door, and you can hear a pained guttural scream before he walks back inside looking normal and says, I'm normal now.
Taurus looks at Asta and he goes, I'm the downgrade?
Yeah, you are the downgrade. You're a weirdo.
I will get over it.
maybe.
Sophia absolutely has something to do with it. I think that's one of the names we found. Yes, that was one of the names we found. This has been a very productive visit. I've absolutely hated every single second of this.
Micah Asta's kind of looking at you like a little bit wide-eyed, and he goes, well, I think that maybe you could take Magpie and go get those documents that
Asta, you know why I don't want to go back there.
I do. I just, maybe if you're there, it'll make you feel better that, he's not taking anything, and yeah.
There's nothing to take.
Asta kind of, gives you a very,
I'm sorry, you didn't deserve that.
No, it's fine. I just think that maybe it's worth the look. You don't have to if you don't want to, but he's going. Sometimes he needs a sitter. He's not very he gets lost.
I heard trustworthy there somewhere.
His fingers wander. He puts things in his pocket that he shouldn't. Magpie is smiling ear to ear at you.
Okay. Alright. Fine. Sure. Amazing. Let's go back to the house. Who knows? Maybe there'll be bloodstains on the floor for me to yell at.
Not Nathan. Asta kind of sucks his bottom lip for a second and goes, well, alright then. How about the rest of you? Would you all like to go, take a little walk through the city with Magpie and Micah?
Sure. It's been a while since I've been here.
You've been here before.
I've probably been in every city.
Oh. Well.
I travel around.
Yeah. Sorry. Just connected dots, really.
I mean, only if Micah wants us there. I'm not gonna.
No, you can come. Who knows? Maybe it'll make it easier.
Well, with that, Magpie gleefully begins to lead you guys out the door, and as he does, Percy, Ethan is very blatantly staring at your arms as you walk away.
He sends a wink towards him. He says a wink, and he's gonna do a quick thing of he's gonna cast a message. Which he's just gonna he kind of cups his hand over his mouth, so it's muttered, so the others don't hear. But he's just he gets Ethan's gonna get a message in his hand. He's like, later tonight.
Oh shit!
Love to try again.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Ethan kind of.
And here, this is what the message cantrip does. He can respond to him if he wants to.
Oh boy.
How do you do a vampire bat emoji? Percy, you just, Ethan does not respond to you, but you can see as you walk away that he's, has ever so slightly the teeniest, tiniest, ittiest, bittiest little smile tucked up at the corner of his mouth. So that's your answer. Magpie,
He smiles.
What did you say?
He just smiles and follows the others.
Magpie gleefully leads you outside of the castle and kind of down towards the somewhat wealthier district of Alave, kind of towards the edge of the city where the lush forest trees kind of tease the city line. A massive old mansion with sports a gated lush garden that kind of spills over with vibrant flowers and leafy sculpted bushes. someone has been paying to have this land maintained, although it is definitely abandoned. But as you guys kind of start walking down the path that kind of splits the garden in two that leads up to this house, you all notice a figure standing in the upstairs window. It's kind of a shimmering, translucent blue in color, and as you get closer, you notice that it's a woman that's kind of watching longingly through the glass. She then turns and walks away.
Micah starts sprinting.
There's a woman in your house. Percy follows.
Magpie's kind of trotting along after you. And
did you do that, Magpie? Is that one of your tricks, or?
Magpie kind of turns and looks at you, Wander, and he's like, I can do lots of tricks.
Is that one of them?
Magpie bounces his gross little brows at you. Magpie, or I guess probably Micah, you can unlock the door. You probably have the key still.
I do have the key.
Micah, you unlock the front door and you step inside, and all of you are kind of greeted by more spectral figures kind of making their way around the house. Micah, you see a spectral projection of your brother reading in the library, turning these ghostly pages as he kind of leans back in his chair. A vision of a servant wanders around the fireplace, kind of dusting off picture frames and trinkets. A vision of your mother kind of descends down the stairs, and she looks right past you as she wanders down the corridor. And Magpie kind of comes up beside you, and he puts his hands on his hips, and he goes, "Do you like him? I figured it would keep anybody from considering walking in here. People tend to not fuck around in places they think are haunted."
Micah looks at Magpie and looks at Wander and looks at the others. And he goes outside and is promptly sick in one of the bushes.
Oh!
Wander will go after Micah and, like, I don't know, hover.
Oh.
Magpie, I think that was kind of mean.
I mean,
I
didn't do it to be mean. I mean, it keeps people out.
You could have, I don't know, dispelled it before
I didn't think
at least Micah got here.
I didn't think that it would upset him that much.
I mean,
Usually Micah will have a hug.
Micah clings to Wander, and Wander, you can feel your shirt kind of get a little bit wet.
Oh.
Percy kind of like peeks outside and sees that, and then like looks back over the magpie. He's like, "All right, dispel it. This is our this. You could turn it back on when we leave, but we're turning this off."
Magpie kind of takes their mask off, and they kind of give a little huff, and their eyes kind of glow like a really like soft blue, and the visions go away. He's like, it's kind of strange what happened here. I showed Ethan years ago, and I always kind of found it a little funny how a family that has so much wealth to protect and has such an expensive house would keep their back door unlocked.
Does Micah hear that?
Yes, he does.
He, gets up from where he's holding on to Wander and, leans against one of the pillars on, the front entrance and says, I locked the back door when I left.
When I showed Ethan what happened, that door was definitely unlocked. I could show you what happened.
Forgive me, but I don't want to see my family members murdered all over again.
Probably wouldn't. I don't know. I offered. I know that when that guy with the mask came in, and I know that Ethan was trying to get a good look at him.
The guy with the mask?
Well, yeah, I mean...
Just fine, just that bit. I don't...
You don't...
Just the guy. I don't want to see anything else if you show me any of my family members. I don't care how good you've been to us. I swear to God, I will clock you.
Magpie kind of makes a little face at that, and he goes, well, that's kind of where the problem comes in, because there was a girl upstairs, and she kicked him, and, you know, she got the mask off, but that's kind of the scenario that's happening there. I can't really...
Micah, we can watch it. You don't have to. Yeah. It's fine.
You might not know who this guy is, and I might.
I'll describe it.
Yeah.
You need to.
I'm not half bad at drawing. I could try.
It's your call, Micah. You can, if you want to watch it, you can. But if you don't, we can watch it for you and tell you what we see.
Magpie, can you end it before anything happens to Kira?
I think I can. I should be able to.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Just play it. Let's get this over with, and then I can leave.
Magpie kind of nods, and once again their eyes kind of glow like a really soft blue, and they open their mouth, and kind of wisps of like smoke kind of very slowly start to kind of pour out of their mouth, and they kind of wisp down the hallway, kind of wisp like through the library, up the corridor, up the stairs, and you guys very slowly follow. And you can hear kind of voices kind of surrounding you. And you watch as 3 a little bit taller than average figures storm down this corridor, and one of them kind of turns into your sister's room, Micah, and just before anything happens, Magpie kind of snaps, and the image freezes. Your sister is kind of just like starting to stand from her chair, and there's a figure that's got a dagger kind of raised in his hand, and the other one is kind of reaching for her shoulder. And you can see in her attempt to kind of push him away, she's kind of kicked forward and kicked his mask, or kicked him in the face, and was able to kind of like kick his mask partially off of his face. And you can't see the whole thing, but you can tell that he kind of has like a short, neatly trimmed beard. The ears appear to be human, and he has a long scar that runs down the left side of his lip.
Does that remind me of anything?
It does not.
Micah sighs and like mentally notes that down. Says, "All right, that's enough."
Magpie dispels the rest of the image, per se, and the house once again is kind of empty except for all of you.
It's a long shot, but any of the others, like any of us, recognize that face either?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I'll just let Asta or Yatoris, God forbid, know, and whatever.
No.
Can you just get the papers that you need, Magpie, and we can leave?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wonder will take Micah out if he wants. Of the house.
I just need to check on something really quickly. And he tracks his way to the oak tree in the backyard.
What will you do by the oak tree in the backyard?
He, first he's grabbing a shovel from the gardener's shed. And he starts to dig until he hits wood.
Go on.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go on.
And once he hits wood, he will hoist out a long wooden case that has gold that used to be well polished and now is kind of dirty and burnished. And he's going to open the case.
Micah, when you open this case, it's empty.
He looks at it for a very long second and breathes out. And then sets the case on fire.
Oh. Micah, the case kind of smolders in front of you. The embers kind of glow a bright orange. They kind of lift gently into the sky. Magpie kind of stands behind you and tilts his head. And he doesn't really say anything, and he just kind of watches you.
Alright, well. No use in trying to change what we can't. Let's go back. East.
Magpie just kind of silently nods, and he leads you all back outside of the house with papers in his hand. And very quietly, very silently closes the door. And Micah, as you walk away, once again a vision of your mother kind of appears in the window and watches you leave.
Mike on her shoulder and breathes out really heavily before righting himself and saying, right, is that all you needed to do, Magpie?
Yep. I got Sophia's papers, and now I'm gonna go show them to Asta, and he's gonna stop being mad at me.
I mean, considering that you decided to, hold them in my house, I think it's fair that he's sort of mad at you.
Once again, I offer you this. Who's gonna go in there? Nobody. I did what was asked of me.
Do you know anything about when Asta got engaged to you, Taurus, out of curiosity?
I think it was 3-4 months back, maybe. It's weird. I never really saw them hang out that much. You know, they kind of just went on walks sometimes. It's
never
strange. Yeah, I mean, they seem to be okay with each other. I remember when they got engaged, it was like a big thing. Like Taurus did it in front of the balcony, and the whole city watched. And he got on one knee and he pulled out this really expensive looking ring, and everyone went, "Oh, oh my God! Whoa, Taurus! Whoa!" And it was like a big thing, and everyone had a big party in the streets. They seem madly in love.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna have a wonderful cry about that later.
Oh my God.
Seems more like a social stunt. In front of everyone,
Or they're madly in love.
I mean, if they've been going on walks for a while, then of course they have some sort of connection.
Yes, going on walks is the peak sign of romance, Micah.
Sometimes
I've never been on walks, so.
Walk around. Oh, plenty of walks.
Sometimes
have you gone on any walks with Ethan?
Ooh.
No, not yet.
You go on walks with people that you're romantically involved with already. Maybe you should start going on walks with him.
Shrugs.
This day fucking sucks.
I'm sorry about that.
Thanks, Percy.
I'm kind of give him like a clap on the shoulder.
Micah does a white guy, like, nod at him.
If it helps, sometimes I go through Eutorus' things, and I found his fanfiction.
You found his what now?
He likes to write fanfiction about people. You know, when you, like, write stuff that's not true about them. Boy, when I tell you, he describes Asta's wiener in really graphic detail.
I don't think that's helping.
He writes about Caspian's wiener in graphic detail, too. Do you want to read about that?
I think Wanda would.
Does he write about Ethan's?
I think Wanda would love to hear about that.
Oh my
it
god!
says right here.
No, Pike is right there. Everyone, please think of Pike.
His massive shaft shines in the light.
Wanda puts a hand over Magpie's mouth.
Magpie is trying to narrate through Wanda's hand. His massive shaft.
No.
You know, I'm very interested about this fanfiction. Does Eutorus write any? Does Eutorus write any of himself in Asta?
I haven't found any yet, but he has a lot. Like, he's got, like, folders of it. I could probably go through it more later. Also, why would Caspian need to breed something?
Yeah, I wonder why would he need to breed something?
Why am I getting involved in this? This is
seems like maybe he should have a partner for that.
Magpie looks at you, Wanda, and he goes, "You let Caspian breed you?"
Oh my god.
Maybe they should.
Live fish reaction. Are we gonna have little lambs?
I am leaving. Goodbye.
Can I be an uncle? Can I be an uncle?
Goodbye.
Can I be an uncle?
Are you leaving to go get bread? The ocean is that way.
I knew I was in the ocean.
They just keep walking.
You knew the egg, laying the eggs was involved somehow.
Are you? Oh, is he gonna make you lay eggs? Wonder, do sheep lay eggs?
Sheep don't lay eggs. Also, they're a goat.
They're a tiefling.
Goat tiefling.
Do goats lay eggs?
They are gone.
Is he fertilizing your eggs, Wonder?
Alright, let's go back.
Yeah, alright.
He was also...
Quite entertaining.
Sometimes he writes about Athan and about how...
Oh, really? What do you write about? It's pretty round.
You could bounce a quarter off of that thing.
You could, and he likes to write about that. He describes them as polished mountains, and I don't know what that means.
I thought mountains were pointy.
They should be, but I guess these ones aren't.
Percy's just nodding.
Polished hills instead.
That's what he uses to describe his tits.
Oh.
I don't think that Athan likes him a lot.
I don't think I like him much either.
I kind of don't blame you. He's kind of a tool. And he kind of rolls up the fan fiction and sticks it under his arm.
It definitely seems like it. But unfortunately, since him and Asta are
madly in love?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you tell me if you do find any of him and Asta? Could we use it to show Asta that he's actually a really bad guy, so Asta will love Micah again?
Listen, I don't want to get in the way of Asta's happiness.
You sure we could try breaking them up?
Oh my god.
Getting in the way of people's happiness is really fun sometimes.
Yeah, because we can be homewreckers.
Listen, you can do whatever you want. I don't want to mess up what my best friend has.
Sure, right. The man he's clearly very happy with.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Are you being sarcastic?
Me, never.
I think he's being sarcastic.
I think he might be sarcastic.
I can't tell.
I'm always genuine. And he's walking.
Okay.
Percy's operation get Micah's boyfriend back.
Alright, we're going back.
You guys find your way back to the castle, and at this point, Asta's is kind of kneeling in front of the shrine, praying. Eutorus is kind of just standing by the door. Seems to really not have much to do.
Wanda's already been sitting there really awkwardly for like 15 minutes because they already left earlier than the rest of the group.
You never used to pray that much.
I have, people to pray for, people to hope for the best for, and he kind of glances at you as he's saying that, Micah.
Yeah, well. Jaunt back to the old, haunting grounds. Which, in hindsight, is probably a bad term to use. As Magpie had a funny little thing to show me.
Really? You couldn't have dispelled that before? And Magpie goes, "What? How am I supposed to know that's going to upset people?" Asta just kind of very slowly closes his eyes and he takes a really deep breath and stands back up.
Right. We've got the papers.
Thank you. And he takes them from Magpie, and he doesn't rip them out of Magpie's hands, but you can see he gives him a firm tug, and kind of glares at them a little bit, and he goes, "Well, the problem here is I know a bit about what you guys found at Cyrus's party. My problem is that none of this explicitly mentions Sophia, but I have my suspicions that she's been involved with this."
Yeah, I would, think so, but, hadn't seen her for a while, so.
I haven't either, which is why that makes me a bit suspicious.
The dead foxes gave us her name, did they not? Or was that something we found?
Yeah, they did.
They gave us... Do they have something slightly more concrete on this, or...?
They just mentioned she was a part of the Glory Society.
Yeah, Asta kind of turns his head towards Robin Riddle, who's still kind of tucked away in the back, and he goes, "Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like she's at least outwardly as involved as Cyrus is. She doesn't have the tendency to openly monologue or leave really important things in her desk that would incriminate her."
She's a lot more careful. All right.
Rude.
The monologuing, right? Really shitty monologue, by the way.
So I've heard.
Like Asta, you would not believe. Awful monologuing. Just truly, it's something out of a 10-cent fiction.
Asta is very clearly, very softly smiling at you ranting about Cyrus's very poor monologuing, and he goes, "You should tell me about it sometime."
Live fish reaction.
Percy's just watching those two.
Yeah.
Wonders what's wrong with 10-cent fiction?
I mean, 10-cent fiction, but it's very clearly bad 10-cent fiction.
I can show you 10-cent fiction that Eutorus writes.
You're being serious?
Are you talking to Asta or Magpie?
Who did Magpie say that?
Magpie was talking about Eutorus' fan fiction again.
Yes.
Asta was the one that invited Micah to tell him about.
Yeah. Micah kind of like kicks his foot and he's like, yeah, sure, that's him. All right. We can, I mean, sure. But,
I'm sure Micah would love to. Not just Micah's shoulder.
Yeah, of course. Just like old times. Couple pals.
Look at us, a couple of cards.
Just a couple of birds.
I'm assuming, though, you have an idea on how to get Sophie to implicate herself. You usually have that sort of thing.
I am discussing it with Ethan currently. I'm hoping by tomorrow we can have some sort of plan put in motion. Anything that could get her on trial would work, because there's no way that. And he kind of stops and he thinks, perhaps maybe one of the nobles from one of the other cities might be willing to talk. At least Cyrus, Elaine, and Tiberius have incriminated themselves. I'm thinking perhaps we could do something with that.
Yeah, I mean, we get Tiberius to incriminate himself even more and get him to talk about what his friends have been doing.
It's a good
Good work.
It's a good idea. Well, I think perhaps I'll sleep on it. I'll let you all rest a bit more, and I'm thinking that maybe I could whip something up with Ethan in the next few days and hand you guys over that assignment.
Of course. Let me know if you need anything.
Speaking of the prince, where did he run off to?
I gave him his. I gave him his own room. It's upstairs, to the left.
All right, thank you. Anything else we need to discuss here?
No, I'll call for you guys later.
Great. He walks out.
Oh my god.
I think Percy is more than a little excited.
Whatever for.
Oh, him and Nathan have a thing.
Oh, he's going to breed him.
Yeah.
You hear Magpie say that?
No. Maybe. I don't think any breeding will be involved. I think it's more just fucking.
Oh. He pats Wander on the shoulder. He's like, you should go show them how.
Why does it keep coming back to me?
Because you have a massive, intense crush on Caspian, and...
You do? Does Caspian breed you?
Oh, I want to leave.
So that you can go get bred by Caspian?
Magpie, maybe lay off.
I'm just asking.
Sometimes we keep our questions to ourselves.
I'm just wondering. Since when is curiosity bad? You mortals confuse me.
Yes. Well, the thing is that didn't offer information, so we don't ask is a very valid method of communicating.
I apologize. He puts his hand back on your shoulder, and he's like, I apologize for asking if Caspian breeds you.
And they're just red and staring at the floor.
Caspian will tell me if Caspian breeds them. Anyways, Magpie leaves.
Can I ask Micro about it?
What?
Before Magpie leaves, Pike nudges him and is like, you can ask Micro about it.
Caspian bred you, Micah?
What?
Asta's head shoots up.
When it tries even harder to sink into the floor.
No, oh my god. No. Having sex once with someone is not breeding.
You had one one-time breeding with Caspian, Micah?
I didn't breed with anybody.
You let that man ride you into Pound Town and made you the sheriff, huh?
Why is this reaction coming from a hookup?
You became a sheriff? You didn't show me a little star badge?
Oh my god.
Caspian gave you a star badge for letting him ride his wiener?
You have sex with someone
Do you
one
have a
time.
wiener dog?
You have a fling, a hookup with someone one time, and immediately you become the butt of every joke.
Caspian flung you?
No.
He flung you? Well, you hear Eutorus, like, take out, like, a little notebook, and he goes, can you detail that? How do you spell that?
Micah whips around to Eutorus and lights up his finger with fire and says one more fucking word, and if you scribble anything down, I'm burning them.
You hear Eutorus tuck his notebook into his bag.
Oh my god.
Right. This has been awful. This has been just a fucking awful day. I'm going to go scream out my woes into a fucking pillow now.
Magpie pats your arm. No, Magpie's gone. Never mind. Magpie does not do that. Eutorus says, oh, well, you know, if you ever need to talk, I'm over here.
I would rather not.
Oh, okay.
I've heard about your what did you call it?
Oh.
Sensual writing?
Oh, my erotic novellas?
Yeah, I don't want to give you any material.
He glances at you and he goes, you know what, that's fine. However, Wander, he comes and he sits right beside you and he goes, what was that about breeding Caspian that you were talking about?
Wander, run. I'll distract him.
Can you describe the diameter of his ass cheeks for me? This is very important.
Wander sits there for a second,
Why do you want to know?
staring into the void,
Hey,
Gets
Eutorus,
up.
why don't you...
and slowly walks out.
Pike is kind of smiling and biting the air at Magpie.
You enabled this. All of you. I'm going to the tavern. Fuck this.
Eutorus, why don't you step away from Wander and I won't light your arm off.
But they got up and they walked
Micah.
away!
You helped. I'm going to get a drink.
Micah flutters his eyelash, his eyelashes at Wander.
I'm walking until I find something in the city. Goodbye.
There's a good place about 3 blocks down to the left and take a right at the turn.
They just like throw a thumbs up over their shoulder and walk out.
Ask for Cynthia!
No.
Hey, Perk.
So who's currently in the room?
Oh, I think it might just be you, Pike, and Asta. Eutorus has gone to go sulk about people not respecting his art.
Micah is going to, look at Pike and, put a hand on their arm and says, can I, have a second?
Of course.
With Asta?
Oh, I thought you meant me. Alright, yeah.
No, sorry. We can hang out later if you want.
Yeah, I'd love that. We can play chess.
I'd like that too. I really would.
Pike plays chess.
Pike eats the chess pieces.
That's how they win. You turn away and suddenly they're stuffed.
Oh, where's that from?
That's how Pike plays chess with Yuli.
Where's that?
That's Wonder and Pike.
Yuli wins because she eats more pieces in one go.
Hold on.
Wonder's just sitting there like, what happened to all the chess pieces?
Pike is like, I win, smiley face, fish emoji. Pike.
All right, my
found it.
moment.
Pike, you have gone off to go eat chess pieces with Wander at the tavern, probably. Micah, you are alone with Asta in the room.
That is 100% canon. The deep Pike lore.
Micah kind of like looks at the ground and kind of scuffs his boot against it and says, I wanted to, since we're going to be working together for the time being, I wanted to do two things, one of which is to congratulate you again, and the second is to apologize for running all those years back.
Oh, all I mean is it's okay. I understand that things were difficult and you had things to do and things to handle, and that's all right. I have things to handle and things to do in my regard, I suppose.
Yeah. I still should have been there to help you. And I'm sorry for that.
It's all right. It's just good to be helping people the way that they need me, and they need me to be a strong leader with a strong family support. So Mother believed that it would probably be best that it be Yatoris. So we're doing our best with what we have.
Yeah, I'm glad you found someone who makes you happy. Certainly.
Micah asks is like glaring off to the side, like very happy.
Sorry, I just remembered a while back when you had told me that you had essentially vowed marriage for a while, but I suppose there's you can't really control who you end up falling in love with.
Yeah, that's yes, I sometimes love is a very strong thing, and it's something to be embraced and celebrated, which I do every day.
Yeah. I'm sure. I'm happy for you, really.
Asta kind of very, very softly looks at you, Micah, and he's kind of holding a little the little charm on his necklace that you gave him, or that he has, and he goes, "Well, I'm glad you're home, Micah."
Thanks. I'm going to go make sure that Taurus doesn't go bother Wander too much.
That's probably a good idea. He really loves to share his creative writing with everyone all the time. Always.
Yeah. You must consider yourself lucky that you found someone with a hobby much better than mine.
I really do love his hobbies. It's really great how he constantly writes about my penis. Anyways.
I'm sure they're all inaccurate.
He's, we've, they're probably a lot more accurate than you would think.
Oh. Don't know. Sorry, I shouldn't have, I should have expected you two are engaged and, very clearly, involved, I'll go and, you know, do something somewhere.
Micah Asta very gently kind of squeezes your shoulder, and he goes, well, I'm glad you're home, Micah. That's, if anything, that's what counts for me tonight.
Yeah. I missed you. You would have, I missed you a lot.
I missed you a lot too, Micah. More than I think you know, sometimes.
I mean, I missed you more than you think, than you might know, as well. I'll see you around soon, hopefully.
Of course.
Have
a good night, Micah.
Yeah, you know where to find me. If you, need anything, or if you find, I don't know, something that needs setting on fire, because I can do that now.
Asta kind of very gently chuckles, and he's like, you know what? That doesn't surprise me. Always been good at starting trouble, aren't you?
Yeah. Say I've changed much from it. You would have, to be fair, the reason I ended up learning in the first place was because I got knocked out in a bar fight, which is probably something, at the time I was thinking, oh, Asta would find this hilarious, so. Or ironic, at least.
I'd give a lot of things to be there, but maybe we can catch up on our own.
Yeah, later. Good night, Your Majesty.
Good night, Micah.
And Micah will leave the room.
Asta will kind of stare up at the Shrine of Unara and kind of sigh very gently. And Eotoris will walk in and go, hey, how do you spell wander getting bread? Is that like 2 E's? Or, and Asta goes, please wait for me outside.
Oh my god.
Oh no, he must be so
I can't take it.
Eotoris.
Eotoris, you're awful. Also, your guys' fucking comments are hilarious.
Taking his pants
I
off.
have to mute myself.
Over, yelling, oh, Micah, take me now. Micah, oh no, he must be so happy with Eotoris.
He's so dense.
I broke when it's like, kiss him with tongue.
With tongue, please.
We both had to mute.
I didn't want to ruin the moment.
Yeah. Also, can I roll a constitution check for Wanda?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet.
It's a constitution check for.
Great. They're fucking face down on a tavern table somewhere.
Oh no! Right, they're drinking.
Cynthia like goes up to them and is like, "Oh, honey, I see."
Speaking with tongue, where's Ethan?
Oh, right. We gotta go talk to Ethan.
Percy.
I'm terrified.
Percy, you find Ethan up in his room. You knock your little twunk hands on the door. And, he goes, it's open.
And just opens it. Pokes his head in.
Ethan is laying up in his guest bedroom. He's got a book open, and he kind of stares at you, Percy, and he slowly blinks it, and he's like, "So, are you prepared for a second try?"
If I wasn't, I wouldn't be here.
And yet you still have
So
your
it was a lot.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
It was a long night the other day, so see how well this goes.
And yet you still have your clothes on.
That I do. Want to come over and help me with that?
Roll me performance.
He gets advantage, right? Because his arms are out.
Yeah, he
Okay.
gets advantage.
Oh. My finger, my cursor is hovering over the performance check. I
Do it.
Now you know how it feels.
I'm covering my eyes and I'm clicking.
Yeah!
Woo! 20!
Yes! Wow!
Yes!
Let's go!
Wow! Percy, this man fucking pounds your ass into the mattress. Percy, you have never known a dicking like this in your life. Percy, every single hole in your body has been resized.
Yeah, go on.
Oh my god.
Percy, your mouth is sore from how aggressively this man has face fucked you. Speaking of kissing with tongue, you cannot feel the inside of your mouth anymore.
He's so happy.
You get fucking pile drived. Everyone on that floor heard the terrible, awful things that happened to you in your holes. And you leave limping. And you take 2 points.
No, what time was it?
I think you guys probably, what time, I don't know, you guys probably, like, went back to your rooms around, like, 10 p.m. You were thoroughly sodomized for, like, 3 hours.
Well, 3 hours. Percy might just pass out in Ethan's bed.
You know what? Ethan will allow it. Ethan is sitting there fucking reading his stupid little book with a big stupid grin on his face.
I'm so happy. Let's go!
This is wonderful.
You take 2 points of damage for each hole that's been resized.
Oh, that's a lot of good berries.
Oh my.
So 2 points each, so that's like...
You got 6 points of damage from that.
Oh, hell. Yeah.
Also, I just wonder is like, with that fucking roll, they're probably wasted, so they probably stayed in the tavern overnight.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
Pike tries to drag them back.
Good luck. Well, like, but your Taurus is there.
Imagine your Taurus comes back at the tavern. He's like, "Oh, Wander, there you are. So I was wondering about that breathing thing."
Oh no!
Bites your Taurus?
Oh my god!
Pike, roll me a dexterity.
There you are.
Oh my god!
Oh.
Pike, you bite your Taurus. You bite your Taurus in the face. You take a good firm fucking bite out of this man before he can get the words breed out of his mouth.
You
Good.
Pike over a mouthful of these birthdays like, you ain't wander alone.
Oh god.
Eutorus is sulking like a fucking dog that's been scolded for going through the trash. And he slinks out of the tavern, fucking fish bite wound prominent in his face.
Wanda, like, drunkenly puts a hand on Pike's shoulders, like, has anyone ever told you can be terrifying sometimes?
No? Am I terrifying?
That was pretty scary, but also thank you.
I just don't like it when people mess with my friends and family.
No.
Pike ruffles Wanda's hair.
They get a big drunk teeth bleeding on them.
Let's go.
Big, heavy, drunk tiefling. Good luck.
You look really tired.
Of Taurus? Yeah. Anyway.
If he comes near you, I'll bite him again.
I'd be surprised if you did. I wouldn't come near you again after that.
You wouldn't come near me again?
If I was your Taurus. But I'm me, so it's different.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you're different.
Alcohol does things to the head. Wow. I'm gonna have such a bad headache tomorrow.
Yeah, once I stole some of Caspian's rum. Oh man. Oh man. I felt like I'd been in a whirlpool and hit my head on a rock.
I think Pike lost them at Caspian. They go kind of like glassy-eyed.
Oh my god.
You know what? I think Caspian really likes you.
You can drop me off back at the tavern now. This is why Pike, please, Pike.
What's wrong?
Drop
He
me off
likes
back at the
you
tavern.
and you like
Drop me
him.
off back at the tavern right now. I'm not done.
No, you're done.
No.
No, you're done.
No.
As the medical professional of the group, you're done. I'm the doctor here.
They don't look happy about it, but they will relent.
If it helps, I'd rather have you as a sibling-in-law than anyone else.
Hi. What the fuck?
What?
Ah!
Oh my god.
I don't understand.
What keeps happening? Why do people keep talking about it?
Because we want you to be happy.
They just make like weird gestures with their hands, and they don't really know what to say.
I won't talk about it if you don't want me to, but I don't want you missing out on being happy just because you're afraid. He's a good guy. You know? I want the both of you to be happy, and I want what will make you two happy.
think I'm too drunk for this. I think I'm gonna throw up. Oh god.
Oh no.
By Talos.
Pike holds Wanda's hair back.
That's a lot of hair to hold back.
Pike gets lost.
Oh my god, I've killed Pike.
Eutorus is crouched on the roof of the tavern. This is really good angst.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
I assume eventually they find their way back.
And alright, so Wanda just happens to throw up in just the right angle to hit
Eutorus.
He's on the roof. That's a feat.
Maybe they like spring into the air super high.
That's projectile, baby. Eutorus would deserve it.
Yeah.
Did anyone else have anything to do? Has everyone gotten their holes resized physically and mentally?
Yep, I'm good.
I know you're good.
First having a nice nap.
The worst sentence just came into my mind. The
Sure.
worst sentence. Pike stretches.
Pike what? Pike what? Pike stretches what?
Hello.
I need to put a meme up in the chat.
A meme of Pike doing what?
You mean, like, stretched, like, Eutorus' face off? Is that what you mean?
Not.
I heard Pike stretch.
Not what are you doing?
Listen, you're the one who's asked it. Everyone's holes got resized.
Oh no.
Pike doesn't get his holes resized.
Pike resized a hole in Eutorus' face.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Pike added some new holes to the world.
Yeah, exactly. Pike poked a new hole in. Am I wrong? You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong?
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, it's just,
He wore a helmet and he writes bad fan fiction, Pike.
he was bothering Pike then.
I love how, like, the nat 20s in this thing were, like, Micah kicking fucking weird Dr. Guy after making an Asta comment and Pike, like, biting the shit out of someone's face after, like, bothering Wanda.
And Percy getting his holes resized.
Two very good nat 20s.
Listen, sometimes Pike and Micah can have a little bit of violence as a treat.
I suppose. Pike always gets violence as a treat.
It's gonna stop them.
No one.
Exactly.
They're a force to be reckoned with. A very small, fishy force. Alright, I think that's a good place to end the session tonight.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
Thank you, stream, for attending.
Thank you, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Star, for the enthusiasm for Percy's whole resizing.
Yes, thank you.
Oh god, that's
I could have never. God damn it, I need to rest now.
I'm
What?
winded.
No, it's Starseeker in the chat. I need to rest now.
Good night, Star.
Late. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, all.